What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us today. Yet another edition of Throwback Thursday. Jeff, I know you've been enjoying the content as much as I've been enjoying digging through and putting it all up and together.
I'm not gonna lie. I was trepidatious watching this, especially my stuff. I hate watching my stuff, you know that. But it's been interesting to go back and watch it because, as I said, I become less of a dick as the shows go on Talk Wrestling, which is thank God I did because the first show was so bad. But man, you have been like reaching into the vault, man. I almost feel like I want to grab Mickey Mouse on SNL. I'm like, no, protect the content. They didn't sell. So man, such good stuff to watch, and today is no exception, sir.
Yes, thank you once again to Aaron Rift of the NoDQ YouTube channel, James Hebert of the JH95 / FTW Productions, Noel Foster from the Simple Man brand, and of course, you, good sir, for the
Yes,
Jeff Meacham Network, for allowing me access to all the content that was previously discussed in private
yes,
amongst all of you guys, because there are limitations about what can and can't be posted, but
yeah. Unfortunately,
especially a big thank you once again to Aaron Rift for allowing me access to the no DQ stuff. That stuff has really helped make the process and the Throwback Thursdays succeed and thrive, I think.
absolutely.
Sit back, relax, everybody, enjoy as we bring to you yet another week of Throwback Thursday content.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Hello pals, Alyssa Marino here, and as a friend of Parker Kane Promotions, I am super excited to share the awesomeness that they've got in store for you this November at WrestleCade. You'll be seeing the world-traveling Capital Championship Wrestling Global Fighting Champ Rebecca J. Scott, a rising star who's been featured on Ladies Night Out, MCW, and more, the stunner Emily J., an internationally traveled talent who you've seen on NXT UK and Stardom, Angel of the Ring Zaya Brookside, and NWA World Women's Tag Team Champion Chicago's sweetheart Missa Kate will also be appearing live. It's all going down WrestleCade weekend in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You can catch these stars brought to you by Parker Kane Promotions on Saturday, November 25th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And be sure to stick around for Ladies Night Out the following day on Sunday, November 26th. You can get your WrestleCade weekend tickets at WrestleCade.com.
the day, folks, what are we but professional wrestling fans? Because AEW is the reason ATW exists. And why do I say all the time, I watch all things wrestling? Because I do watch all things wrestling. And gentlemen, we are on the precipice of the biggest event in wrestling history as we finally just got through AEW Dynamite, and we have nothing standing between us but a few days' time before we finally go all in Wembley Stadium in London. Let's fucking go! With that being said, hello everybody who chooses to watch this madness, whether you watch this when I'm sure James will premiere it live or on demand on my Simple brand. You know what this is, for I am the Simple Man of ATW, and my name is Noah Andrew Foster, NAF. But I'm not MJF. But that being said, I have Agents of Chaos. I have my All Elite Brother since day zero. I want to give a shout, of course, to the entire ATW family. Of course, the rising star across the pond. I wonder if she's even going to get a chance to check out Wembley. Shout out to, of course, Mary J. Please follow her, folks, on the social medias where she proves every day that Jade is worth more than gold. Check out her recent show if you can, or go check out the area for Wood Green Wrestling. Cheers to you, my friend. All the best. We're so proud of you. Come join us again in the festivities soon, Megan. And, of course, shout out to Preacher Man, Casey Flynn, supporting Dakota Kai, as he always does, and pissing me off. Of course, our Twitch affiliate and ring announcer now, Sienna Chanel, Cindy. All the best. He always keeps it real. Shout out to Oos Indigo. Check out his content. Our enforcer Lex, who will be at All In. Lucky, damn it, lucky.
He will send the shockwave of the century.
Oos, you on site. That's on site.
Exactly. And so much more. But that being said, guys, it's been a moment. We haven't done this, I think, since prior to SummerSlam. So before we get into what I'm sure is going to be off-the-wall shenanigans, where time doesn't matter, but we will get, of course, to our main event. Let's see how you both are doing. King, first off, you and I always do this every Wednesday night. Good to see you once again, man. Again, we were all in 2018. It is what brought ATW into existence. And the pandemic was the challenge that allowed ATW to be created, thrive, and still be alive. How are you as we are 5 years later going all in once again, this time in London?
First of all, good to see you, bros. As always, good to see y'all. 4 days away, fellas, from history. Just give me the London already. Just give me the Sunday.
I'm just going to say it one more time because I can't say enough. That's how excited I am. AEW, all in London. The biggest event in wrestling history. Damn it! But I digress. Anyway, good stuff, King. Eric, it's been a moment. It's always appreciated to delve into your mind, get your takes, get your thoughts, get your...
Also, I got a haircut finally.
Across the multiverse. You look good, man. And you're definitely representing what we're going to be talking about, sure, for a long haul in our main event. But how you been, Eric?
Been good. My birthday was last Monday.
How was it?
Good. Then a storm hit, and we were at Denny's at the time when it happened.
I would say, I wonder if you got a grand slam during it, but probably not the best. I also, before we get into our freelance conversations, on behalf of the ATW family as we record this, we would like to send our deepest prayers and condolences to all those affected by the pass of a foundation of extreme in legend, Terry Funk. Again, folks, I say it all the time, and JR says it too. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. Treasure your families, for today is a blessing. Tomorrow you are grateful to see, because anything could happen at a moment's notice, as he was not able to finally kick out before the 3. Terry Funk, we thank you for everything. You are always a legend. Our best wishes go out to anybody that wants to follow in your extreme footsteps. God forbid. Big Foley, bang, bang. And of course, all your family members and loved ones. Forever you will trailblaze a path for hardcore as we know it, and it continues to evolve across the world. Thank you. And shout out to Mamba Kobe Bryant, which I know you also put in the chat. Immortal. Anyway, thank you for that. So, yeah, again, guys, it's been a moment. So without further ado, let's just see what the hell we're going to do tonight. Let's get the fuck right into it. Eric, you always know I like to give you the first flag here. So go ahead. Let's delve into some news or some thoughts that are on your mind before we talk about things actually in wrestling. What's been piquing your interest or got you wondering? I know, for example, we got the UFC and Endeavor thing with WWE coming officially soon. And right now there's a big suspense of when it comes to the future.
Well, it's been reported there is now doom and gloom spreading in the WWE locker room and employees.
Well, considering this impedes the creative direction, possibly, I will say this again, ladies and gentlemen, please be aware that the thoughts, the opinions, the subjective content you hear on the ATW View Impromptu is just simple fans providing their own simple opinions. None of it is fact. We are just giving our own simple take. Do not have to agree or disagree, but please respect. At the end of the day, everybody has their own way of thinking. Thank you. So yeah, the fact of the matter that Triple H might be removed from his spot, not just in the corporate ladder, but possibly in the creative chair, if not diminished more, can definitely draw fears considering what Triple H has done truly 1 year full power in the chair since we just passed SummerSlam, which, by the way, I got to see live, my first ever live state event. I'll talk more about that later. So what do you want to talk about regarding that as far as how you think that could affect the whole corporate structure of the WWE ecosystem?
Let's see. So long as Vince remains, it's always going to be miserable. So what's the point in talking about that?
Good idea.
Fair point.
Also, okay, you all saw RVD show up on AEW programming, right?
Yes, we did. And for those that are wondering, the last time we got together, we have not talked about all things wrestling since before Blood and Guts.
Well, to be fair, we were on the rundown.
Yeah, that's true. And shout out to our podcast mania. Shout out to the FTW crew, FTW Productions, James Hebert, of course, at Jay Hebert Side 95, Owen Finch, Berman Talkinator, our longtime friend Carol, who I know is always going to be the tails to my Sonic because we are Sonic affiliates. And I know she's also all elite too. I hope that she's doing very well with whatever ventures that she pursues. But yeah, and that being said, I mean, a lot's developed, not just in AEW, but in the wrestling industry, to say the least, considering it's been about, a month and a half. We completed the Owen. Blood and Guts have concluded. We got through SummerSlam. Impact Wrestling and NWW just crossed over the Multiverse once again. And we are on the precipice of emergence. And we saw Trinity beat the Virtuosa at her own game at Slammiversary. Will history repeat, or will the Virtuosa once again prove long may she reign? And that's just some of the simple takes to talk about just in this past 30 days alone.
Well, there is actually something big going to happen in GCW, I heard, on September 2nd.
Right.
History will be made in Chicago for GCW.
Oh, God, Chicago. Here we go.
Oh, boy.
They have acquired the most powerful free agent in all of professional wrestling to make their debut.
Who?
They have recruited Barney and Friends' Baby Bob. You're asking what I mean by that. If you're wondering what the hell I mean by that, here.
What? Wait. Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't click it. What the fuck?
What is this?
The future. All right, enough of that charade.
Technical difficulties, people. Technical difficulties.
GCW is doing this. And if you saw the name of the event, it's the Big Gay Brunch 7.
This has to be done by freaking.
This is done by Effie.
Yeah,
this has to be an Effie project.
It's Effie. It's Effie.
I know it.
My
I know it.
Beyond the yellow brick road. God.
Oh, the yellow brick road.
All right. Well, okay.
But anyways, enough about that. RVD showed up on AEW programming.
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that.
To the point that the internet responded with vitriol and hatred, said, "You hated AEW. You can't do this. This is a betrayal to the WWE name."
Look, we don't acknowledge tribalists here.
Well, to be fair, RVD actually responded back saying, "Did you? Isn't it possible that I probably got WWE's permission?" And I'm like, two things. One, why would you need their permission? They're not your parents. Two, are you even still with them technically, unless you're under a Legends deal? And three, this is the most important one. Who effing cares if he got approval or not? He's not working for them.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's a WWE Hall of Famer. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, come on now. He freaking ran for a period of time in Impact Wrestling with Katie Forbes in a hot tub.
Yep.
And then he got Impact off of Twitch.
Well,
yeah.
everybody makes mistakes. That's all I gotta say about that.
Everybody has those days.
Yep, right. All right.
Yeah, his was more fruitful.
Yeah, I would say it was more fruitful. Speaking of fruitful, I think Blood and Guts was very fruitful as we had our third Blood and Guts match, and it was, of course, the arrival of one Kota Ibushi in AEW that we have not seen the last of, as again, we are on the precipice of AEW All In. If I see that quote all night, I'll literally burn myself out, so I'm going to slow down on that. And literally, as we know, the Golden Lovers will reunite one more time alongside the Hangman, the Golden Lovers and the Hangman. That just sounds like a sitcom waiting to happen. Or
The Golden Cowboys.
Or a special BTE skit. I don't know how much Cowboys are famous in the UK, just saying. But anyway, yeah, as we saw Blood and Guts, John Moxley. What's up?
The Elite are assigned to AEW.
Yes, that's definitely one of the biggest pieces of news since we last ATW View. King, go ahead and take this bit because, again, those are your boys. They are all elite for the long haul, man. The four of them.
The four of them. In which, let's face it, guys, there will be no all elite wrestling without those three men. I mean, you can say what you want if you watch the Cody Rhodes documentary on Pickup, which I'm pretty sure we all have. You know, WWE likes to spin it in their direction. But he's part of that too. There will be no all elite wrestling without Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, the Bucks, and of course with the backing of Tony Khan, of what got us to love professional wrestling here in the States. To some that have reignited their passion when it comes to this company, and to others that just added to what this group is all about, all things wrestling. So whether you love them, whether you hate them, you got to respect them because for what they have done in the 5 years of existing in this wrestling industry.
Bar none. Eric, your rebuttal.
Now can we get CMFTR versus the Elite now, goddammit?
Just waiting. Just waiting.
We're all waiting.
Just waiting.
Also, I just had a thought. Since now people want to see Hangman and Punk go at it again, okay, I have an idea. Here's my idea. Okay, we do the Elite of the Young Bucks, Hangman, and Kenny versus CM Punk, FTR, and if they're possibly acquiring the services of this guy, we get Adam involved.
Adam Copeland.
Yes. You got to have a bond with FTR, especially.
Well, we won't know of his contract status because this deal is up at the end of September. But from what Pro Wrestling Torch has, brought to the table,
okay, allow me to just say this. I don't trust Wade Keller and the PW Torch for what happened a few years back.
Yep, I don't either.
And especially when they had to come out and say, okay, so listen, we usually go through the vetting process of editing, but we decided to skip this article and let the slander just come out, even though I'm the head editor and I was asleep. So it's clearly not anyone's fault but the guy who did it.
True. That's very true. Before we get into Edge, which definitely is the most recent thing, let's just go ahead and recap some solo things here, and y'all can interject based on what I talked about. Since the last time we got together here, of course, we saw Blood and Guts, and we saw that MJF can truly do anything in the ring as the bromance of the summer has continued, which will be definitely talked about here more heavily once we get into All In's main event. We've won MJF and Adam Cole that won that blind tag tournament, but fell short against FTR for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. After FTR already gave us a classic this year against Bullet Club Gold's Rock Hard, Juice Robinson, and Jay White for 58 minutes. We also saw John Moxley once again innovate violence with a screwdriver board to the back of Kenny Omega in the bloodiest Blood and Guts match we have seen yet. Step Before Dishonor did their latest Ring of Honor did their latest Ring of Honor pay-per-view. It was headlined by Willow Nightingale versus Fina for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. It was an absolute stellar match. I think Willow has pushed Fina farther than anybody else in their illustrious reign as a forever champ did retain. Derek Garcia proved to Shibata, I could be sports entertainer, but I also can wrestle your game, and came this close to winning the Pure Championship until he was wooed to sleep and then ate a PK and then got pinned by the wrestler who still has yet to use a single damn rope break. Claudio Castagnoli has come forward to say that at this point, this is not passion. This is just a job. And until somebody can be a better worker than him, he will not relinquish his hold on the Ring of Honor World Championship. Good luck to all comers that try. NXT.
Oh, you forgot an important one.
Yes.
Oh, and you forgot Ricky Starks whipping the you-know-what out of Ricky Stark. Ricky Starks beating up Steamboat.
I was going to get to that, but thank you for that. And along with that, as I look at All Things Wrestling, Stardom, of course, had their latest pay-per-view. Megan Bain has arrived on the scene and literally went Goliath against the David of Tam Nakano. But Tam Nakano somehow survived and still is the World of Stardom champion. Meanwhile, Tommy Hayashita had a short U.S. exhibition, came back undefeated, but lost to Mai Watani, damn it, for the IWGP Women's Championship. At the end of the day, there's a reason why she is called the Icon. Simply put, Mariah May, which we'll talk about here probably a little bit, and Mina Shirakawa lost the Goddesses of Stardom Tag Team Championships to Natsupoi, and of course, Ori Sarai of Restart, I believe they're called. Kairi Sane up in the air right now. Looks like she might be going back to WWE. And also Julia, who is, of course, the NWW Strong Women's Champion, had her first international venture, defending it in a fatal four-way against two knockouts, and, of course, Momokogo and Stardom at the Multiverse United 2. Again, I highly recommend if you can go watch that match. You should. It was definitely an incredible moment. It was definitely a huge moment for Julia, who absolutely deserved it. Star match by our floor. Can't wait to see what's next. To be fair, as I look at All Things Wrestling, JJ, this is for you. Not my NXT! But I digress. NXT Great American Bash recently had their event where, of course, Camilla Hayes proved why E is him, scored nothing but net, and beat Ilya Dragunov for what it's worth. I still can't believe that. And Ilya Dragunov still is not NXT champion. AEW Dynamite celebrated 200 episodes of the weekly Wednesday night standard, and so many more moments to come, and we had a great time engaging and calling that as Hikaru Shida became a two-time AEW Women's World Champion, beating Toni Storm. Sorry, King. Congratulations to her. And SummerSlam, for what it was worth, was my first ever live same experience. I would say a pretty decent show, except for that main event, which even Aaron Ritz said was boring. And JJ called out for false advertising. However, it did lead to a Cain and Abel what the fuck moment, as Jimmy calls Jay Tribal Chiefdom and the newly named WWE Undisputed Universal Championship sponsored by Heinz Mustard. As Gunther continues his way, tell me I'm telling lies. As Gunther continues his way, of course, becoming the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time after beating Drew McIntyre. And Ronda Rousey very well had her last match in WWE as Shayna Baszler beat her in an MMA rules match. An LA Knight, is once again proving how over he is in WWE. That man needs to be a champion. And Logan Paul, Ricochet, for what was worth. You hate Logan Paul, but you can't deny Logan Paul's athleticism. That was a fucking incredible opener. And would I do a live stream experience again? No. I personally prefer being at home. And besides that, Impact Wrestling had Slammiversary. Trinity proved that the risk was worth it. Beat the Virtuosa and is the new Knockouts World Champion. MK Ultra is the greatest thing in women's tag team wrestling. As Killer Kelly and Master Slamovich were able to beat the Coven to the Wild and Counting King for the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championships. Leo Rush finally won a damn title. Beat Chris Sabin in a quick fashion and is the X Division champion. Josh Alexander is back, but Alex Shelley overcame both Nicholas and Hiroshi Tanahashi and is still the Impact World Champion. And in WWE land, Roman Reigns is still on top, but who the fuck cares? It's overrated.
And Nick Aldis is a WWE producer.
Which I find kind of interesting because Mickie James hasn't come back yet. But, of course, Mickie James recently celebrated at Maryland Championship Wrestling, MCW for those that don't know, and has kind of been in and out around the thing. Oh, and Macadona is still the Deathmatch King of the Independence scene with Steph DeLonda.
Him and, that was what I was about to say that. Yep.
I think that about gives a good catch-up. Oh, and, of course, in NJPW, the G1 Climax officially went through and concluded, and it will be maybe truly for the last time him trying to seize his Destino. Tetsuya Naito won the whole thing and is off to Wrestle Kingdom after he beats Jeff Cobb, keyword if he can. And Katsuki Miya, impressive showing. He put his M1 championship off to the side to challenge himself in the G1. Will we see more of him? Will we see the three musketeers of NWW rise to the occasion and become something in their own individual right, as we'll talk more about the G1. And currently going on Pro Wrestling Noah, I just recently saw Kazuchika Nakajima take on the, what do they call him? The ace, I think, of All Japan Pro Wrestling in Kento Miyahara, and I definitely want to see that run back. That was a match of the year candidate, in my opinion. Whew. So I think that about covers everything briefly up to this point in all things wrestling, not going after week by week, but the biggest things we could talk about as far as matches go and talent and, you know, just highlighting stuff. So that being said, King, let's go ahead and get some thoughts regarding you and all things wrestling. What do you want to talk about? News, a result, or somebody? Again, it's been about, what, month, maybe a month and a quarter. What's been piquing your mind lately in all things wrestling?
Of how Eddie Kingston has lived his Japan dream of basically competing in the G1, got to meet his hero Kawada, and then basically that smile is infectious. I think you might have to have surgery on his face to get that smile off, but I think we just seen that of what happened tonight on Dynamite with Ray Phoenix, who, by the way, Ray Phoenix people will not compete at all in because of visa issues.
Yes, but
they run him out through mutilation.
Quote on quotes, Mr. Newsman, as we'll talk more about this later. And folks, that's not Photoshop. Your eyes don't deceive you. Anyway, what else is on your mind, King?
Death Before Dishonor. First of all, the build to that pay-per-view was at best, but when it came showtime, once again, Tony, you madman, once again, you always prove how these shows, Ring of Honor shows, even though they've been lackluster build, especially on Death Before Dishonor, when they come to showtime, it was great. Loved it, especially with Claudio and Pac for the Ring of Honor World Championship.
Yeah, and as we saw, we also saw changing of the hands with the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships as Aussie Open is back in full effect, and they won them back after the Lucha Brothers and Best Friends cost each other, and the OGK once again tried to make their way to steal them and came up short. But the OGK very well might be on their way towards another chance at them based on what we've seen lately carry out during the summer.
And speaking of on their way, I think we're about to have the Righteous on their way to AEW after what we've seen, what happening with the conclusion of the Dark Order in that Without Honor.
Fight Without Honor
trios match.
I'm just going to say this right now. What do you think's worse, Legos or Tax?
Tax. It's still tax. I mean, Legos is just Legos, but tax.
Legos, you step on it, it hurts, but you get off of it. Whereas tax,
tax it's injected in your body.
Yes,
for the most part. All right, good little summary. Eric, anything you want to talk about lately regarding all things wrestling? I know this is like pretty much the freelance bit, like regarding a match or a talent, or you want to just go right for your newsreel and start bringing things down that had piqued your interest, or you just want to talk about?
We all talked about how Kairi Sane's set to come back to WWE in a few months.
So we've heard, yeah. Now,
I guess we're set to be following Kairi Sane from behind.
Oh, because I'm not like most girls.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she's apparently, gotten into better ring shape, which you always need to do.
But we're talking about we need to talk about the athleticism in terms of her not botching everything.
Bingo.
We don't know if she's done anything.
I wanted to give her the chance, but I have no hopes with WWE. Remember, they said, okay, Nia, you may have botched 50 different times and injured and nearly killed 2 people, but you are the talented one. Keith Lee, you need to go back and get seasoned.
Yeah, I still can't get over that. Still to this day, I still can't get over that.
Yeah, you're telling me. I mean,
I have a way to make this incredibly awkward now.
Oh God, what?
Here we go.
Eric Bischoff revealed on his podcast a segment he did with. Does anyone remember a segment in 2003 where Bischoff was at Linda's house?
Oh Jesus!
Yes.
Yeah. Well, guess what Eric Bischoff revealed on his podcast?
Do tell.
What did he do?
He revealed that Vince watched the thing with a big grin on his face.
Oh, of course he did.
And I'm like, is this a Jim Cornette situation I have to worry about?
Ay. I don't really got much more to say about that. I'm not going to talk about.
I can't even add comment.
I don't really have much to say about that. I gotta be honest with you, because putting those two things in the same sentence, you're just asking for trouble and a migraine.
And I'm not
I'd
even
rather
trying to
watch
have that right
Yano.
now.
I'd rather watch and talk about Yano than deal with those two idiots.
I would rather watch an evil match than talk about that.
Okay, no, that's blasphemy. Now you're going way too far off the line. I'm just gonna say that. For
I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay, how about an evil Yano match?
Oh, jeez. Now you're really throwing it out there.
Moving on.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and talk a little bit, since he brought that up, about since Eric Bischoff still has so much criticism about it. So Eric Bischoff, I've heard that people have been talking about Eric Bischoff is still on his what's the word I'm looking for? Soapbox about AEW, and he's trying to attack the management thing once again. Talking about that it's like a clown car or a clown show where he kept all the clowns.
He said the inmates
but he's not the one. He's not the only one attacking AEW too. Let's not forget about Lufisto attacking the women's division too. Let's not forget about that.
Oh, and don't forget the fact that AEW broke WrestleMania 32's record and ruined Vince McMahon's 50-year-long dream of cultivating a list.
The AEW criticism segment here. So let's just go ahead and put it out there. I'm going to say this real quick, and then somebody can just start saying something else if they want to. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, fans of all ages, sports enthusiasts of all ages. You can like more than one thing. One thing can exceed differently than the other, as long as everybody is growing, thriving, and progressing. That's all you should care about. You should care about positive developments in the industry as a whole, not just one damn fucking company always being on top because they either have the greatest wallet or the biggest roster that they undermine by 65%.
What the nostalgia?
Well, again, WWE has a 50-plus year legacy, so they have the rights to that. But AEW, established by brand name, Double or Nothing 2019, what they have cultivated and done, controversy abound because the industry has controversy and bad publicity. It's just a fact of life, Jack. We stand here August 23rd evening, August 23rd, 2023, on the precipice of the biggest event in wrestling history. Damn it! Not to mention their greatest game, not to mention their first international exhibition beyond this damn fucking continent on a starving nation where we take wrestling for granted, and they are just begging, clamoring, wanting, praying, I'm sure some of them are, more for this because the entire British scene got collapsed.
Because Vince didn't know when to stop, and speaking of what's left of it.
The bottom line, be happy. Just appreciate this. Just enjoy wrestling. Damn it. Anyway, go ahead, Eric and King. You all can talk about something else or have your own criticism.
Well, let's see. Okay, so here's the thing. Mercedes Moné went on Twitter and said we should really run it back again with Bayley.
But here's my thing though. What's it going to take? Because I have a gut feeling that I don't think Mercedes is going to return back to that company anytime soon. And Bayley has even stated that Stardom is too fast for her speed.
Yes.
So how, if you was to run it back,
here's what needs to happen in order for Mercedes to even think about going back.
Bill cardio?
No. Vince especially needs to go on TV, beg for her forgiveness. Because remember, the disrespect was loud. They were gaslighting her and Naomi up on TV, saying all this backstage stuff and whatnot. So
that caught Pat McAfee off guard.
The apology needs to be just as loud.
Well, I mean, Mercedes Moné was there when Trinity won the damn freaking Knockouts World Championship from freaking Deonna Purrazzo. Again, Deonna Purrazzo, such an incredible talent. Long may she reign. At Slammiversary, I'm just saying. So, again, it's one of those things where hindsight's 20/20, but also Stardom, they have a high-speed championship for a reason.
Yep.
When I go back and watch that Triple Threat Sakura Genesis, Mercedes Moné could barely keep up with Asume Hanazuki. She was lucky to win that match.
Yeah. But this is my point. Vince McMahon and everyone who was involved in that whole event where they were where they thought the best idea was gaslighting Mercedes and Trinity, they need to go on TV, apologize, get on their knees, beg for their forgiveness, and then probably pay them in damages for multitudes of slander.
But this is Vince that you're talking about, Eric. That's not going to happen.
Well, then Mercedes should not go back.
And that's why that's why I said I have a gut feeling she's not going to go back. She's going to stay where basically she's already got a citizenship in Japan.
The only way she'll ever come back is Vince is gone.
That's for a lot of the talent that left.
And we know now that's never truly going to happen now that he's given that company $9 billion in a business deal, and Endeavor wants him at the forefront. And it looks like Michael Cole is not going to retire anytime either. Now that he's back to call on Raw and SmackDown. And it looks like he is generally happy, but everybody has burnout. Hell, even me.
Yep, because Ari Emanuel has even stated.
We must go for Connecticut and unleash raging hell.
And go ahead, King. Damn.
Because Ari Emanuel said that Vince is not leaving that chair, and Vince is not leaving unless, Vince is not leaving, and he's going to die by the chair.
Die by the chair, not the electric chair either. Though some people probably figured this
cuffed and handcuffed and whatnot.
The WWE, ruled by Vince McMahon for all eternity.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, now I got another question. We're about a few months out from this. Cody Rhodes and Roman, do you still think it was the right decision to have Roman win?
King, I'm going to let you lead this conversation because I have a feeling we're going to dissect into this for quite a period of time.
Yes, we are. Do I think Roman was the right choice? Still to this day, no. That you had a rocket strapped to Cody when he came back and won the Royal Rumble. You should have pulled the trigger then. But this is WWE, and they want to. And I've been seeing this as of late. I don't know if you guys have, but I've been seeing them trying to break title records this year more than ever.
Yep.
Especially with Roman and now Gunther, which we're 16 days away with Gunther breaking the Honky Tonk Man's record. I've been seeing them trying to modernize the record as of late. It's like they want to get rid of the past. I mean, records are meant to be broken in sports, in anything general. But I've been seeing this trend within WWE more so than ever. But back with the whole Cody Rhodes and Roman situation, Cody should have been the one to dethrone him. You brought him in, which we all thought he wasn't going to leave AEW. He was working without a contract. Sean Ross, he even alluded to after Dynamite went off the air, backstage said, I'm working without a contract. What you heard from Sean Ross Sapp and others, I'm working without a contract. Came to WrestleMania, had a fantastic match with Seth. 2 matches, which, well, the torn pec. He worked with a torn pec.
I'll get to that in a little bit.
I'm sure you will.
Well, we know you will. And it's like he put on a match then, and then he took his recovery, he did the surgery, took his time off, came back at the Rumble, and then we all knew then and there when that Endeavor announcement was made, and when Vince says that I'm going to be in the weeds. I'm not going to be in the weeds. Yes, you are. We knew right then and there, night 2 of that main event at WrestleMania. I mean, come on, y'all just coming off it's a sell in the. It was never about a sell, folks. It was never about a sell. It was basically getting that man back in power because he sees what Triple H's been doing, breaking all-time date records and setting record dates for said events. And then he's probably like sitting in his house like, oh, I wish that was me. That could have been me doing it, but that's my son-in-law doing that. Oh, I'm just going to come back, trying to make a sell, quote unquote, and then take back my power, and then we're going to go back to square one.
Oh, and I'm also going to fire my daughter in the process.
And now here we are, and I already knew. We all wanted Cody to win. We all wanted Cody to win because he even said he wanted to win the title that the late, great Dusty Rhodes never had a chance to help. And now night 2 comes upon us.
Sorry.
And now even Cody has said it that he hates it because now it has become a meme. That meme of being finished the story. And we can all blame Vince for that because now Vince is back in creative at a higher level, and in the main, if you are a main event talent, Vince is in charge of that. The rest of it is basically off the Triple H.
Pretty much.
Well, there is something else that came out about Roman Reigns' power.
Roman Reigns' power.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Eric.
Sean Ross Sapp did his due diligence and contacted WWE and say, look, when is Roman dropping the title? Guess what? Guess what he was told bluntly?
WrestleMania 41.
It's worse.
Whenever he feels like it.
Whenever he and Paul Heyman fucking feel like it.
I called it. Called it.
Emphatic F.
So basically, what they have just admitted is that they gave Roman and Paul Heyman the keys to the creative controlling kingdom. Because, that's never gone wrong in wrestling.
I mean, it's not like you really can't book somebody else to be in that spot on SmackDown, let alone give somebody an opportunity to be more than a mid-carder. Maybe that's why they brought the title for Raw, so that way everybody else not named Roman Reigns has a chance to be a world champion, including one Shinsuke Nakamura that apparently is going to get a chance to go after suffering and Rollins, who's been working with a compromised back now, apparently, for the last few years. Damn. But
here's the thing. Fightful Select also revealed this.
Go ahead.
They reveal that there was never serious consideration for Cody, for Sammy, for Jay to dethrone Roman.
Well,
so
Sammy,
what was the point?
Marketing. Gotta have shirts. Gotta sell the shirts.
But now, here's the thing. You want to know what I mean by the fact that they said Roman and Paul Heyman basically make the call of when he loses?
Yes.
This is what was basically said. This is what was the article saying. So in the event Roman loses the world champion, it was said that the two would have heavy input as to who it would be, whether it be tonight or a year down the line or 2 years down the line. They are constantly looking at every possibility.
Or in this case, or go ahead.
And when they think it's the very best thing for business, they'll know when to switch it up and do it right and really make someone doing it the higher up indicate it. And I was like, look, I'm not going to say Roman Reigns is instantly going to turn into Hulk Hogan and John Cena in terms of power-hungry destruction, but do you not see the problem why people don't like it when the big top star has basically the cards to do whatever he wants?
John Cena.
Nexus.
He admitted it, though, to be fair. And
he did admit it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There's a difference between admitting it and saying, I'm sorry I fucked the whole thing up, and then making it worse.
And Wade Barrett's now a commentator.
Yeah, and he's not the main event star. He doesn't even have a 2-reign title run. He was almost Money in the Bank champ contender. Then he got injured during the bad news thing. Then he got over the bad news thing, and then Vince told him to go F yourself for getting over my creative ideas.
I mean, hey, at least he's comfortable and happy, I guess, as commentator. But yeah, just to go back to the whole original thing here, I was the guy that preached the gospel of finish the story right and had to call that shit. And then even worse, I had to call probably the worst Monday Night Raw in history, if not the worst Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. Okay, but the fact of the matter that Brock Lesnar showed humanity at SummerSlam and endorsed Cody Rhodes gave me some glimmer of hope that maybe Cody is being set long-wise, where if he didn't get the pectoral muscle, I think he actually would have won WrestleMania. I'm just going to call that right now. The fact that he was out for literally over half a year probably was the reason they didn't give it to him at WrestleMania. Let's just call it space.
Now you know Roman has the cards to make that call. So if management says we want Cody to win and Roman says nope, okay, then we'll just go with you again.
But at this point, why? At this point, why? A championship is meant to be defended, not just once every quarter. It's meant to be presented. It's meant to be elevated. It's meant to be known, not just to play on a shelf a freaking blueberry and cherry accessory. Because all the mustard belt is right now is just a bigger excuse for people to spend countless amounts of money on dumb, fake-ass merchandise.
Or in this case, we're in the bottom of the third inning, said Paul Heyman.
So they're going to push out Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso, as we saw at Tribal Combat. By the way, Tribal Combat, what a load of crock shit. As we saw at the end of SummerSlam. By the way, y'all saw my seats. I didn't see doodly shit. I just heard everything. Jimmy betrayed Jey because Jimmy was saving Jey. I did it for you. to save you from yourself. I literally called this shit on Simple Take and Slip Predicting. Maybe I should be a freaking writer. Hell no, I care about my brain. Anyway,
yeah. Like maybe if someone in another promotion, you would probably do well as a writer. In WWE, you might as well
AEW.
Your head.
People think I should be in radio, let alone a commentator. All right, I'm happy being the simple man that has fun with you all virtually for free from home, supporting his friends.
There was something I wanted to add. So remember how you both mentioned that Cody was bothered by how his story arc has basically turned into a meme?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, guess who also came out and said, "Yeah, it bothers me too."
Dustin Rhodes.
Dustin.
Sami Zayn admitted it bothered him that Roman beat him.
Montreal Elimination Chamber.
What do you expect?
You're and this is what he said. He said this on the Ryan Sand podcast.
Oh, out of character. Oh.
And he admitted the loss was a hard one to take because he said this: I forced their hand as much as humanly possible, but it's still just a buckshot, you know? It was a hard pill to swallow, even though you know what happened, where the plan is and where things were heading. There's kind of this hope that you hold on to, like, yeah, but if the crowd is loud enough and the story's good enough, it's kind of right there. Everyone knew that.
Everyone knew. Everyone ain't no idiot.
There wasn't a single person that didn't know rumors. Here's the thing. Hi, Jeff. Here's the thing. You grasp for the moment. You enjoy it. You don't get to see it when you're against Roman Reigns. I mean, hell, if Charlotte Flair didn't take that reprieve, you very well wouldn't have had, and I can't believe I'm saying this, one of the best women's championship matches in WWE history with her and Rhea Ripley. There, I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird to think about, too.
And
even
like, he does
like,
think,
yeah,
but like, he still says he got a lot of benefits out of it, but like at the end of it, it's like, man, they should have gave him the belt. Like like I kept saying this for months. You could just have a 2 out of 3 falls match and do WrestleMania 2000. Roman doesn't need to be pinned. He can hold the Universal belt, and Sammy could take the WWE belt.
They didn't want to do it, and now everything's underneath one umbrella, despite the fact he has them all on the shelf, which is pointless.
And here's my thing: are they going to ride that momentum again? Because lightning can't strike twice. Like it can't. With the momentum he had last year on carrying all the way to Philly, there's no way you can do that again with that momentum. What you had this year, there's no way you can do that again. There's just no way.
Here's the thing. Yeah. Here's the other thing. He's also admitted he's hurt. He's banged up.
Gee, shocking.
Yeah, in fact, now we get to this point. Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes fucked everyone over.
Because of working through it. Yep.
Because Kenny, remember Kenny? He started this trend where he was like, okay, I have vertigo. I have several knees missing. I'm pretty sure I'll be in a wheelchair by the end of this match. And I have deep cuts, bruises, and my hip is tilted in an awkward angle, and my knees are messed up. And I need stem cell research. Oh, and I'm wrestling with vertigo. But I will still hold 3 belts from four belts from 3 different companies.
For a span of practically a year. Thank you. Good night.
Yeah, and then right before Cody Rhodes, Ridge Holland actually was wrestling with a torn ACL on Raw Underground. And he was bragging about it like it was like, I am awesome. I am awesome that I'm wrestling with a torn ACL and probably risking permanent damage on my leg.
Human fortitude is foolish pride and hubris exposed at the risk of your own long-term health and well-being.
And then the piece de resistance happens when Cody Rhodes wrestles with a torn pec. And he even admits, looking back, yeah, I can't watch that match.
Yeah, that was fucking stupid.
Even seeing that on the Dakota Rose documentary, like, oh my God, again.
I didn't have to see that again. I had to call that, and the moment I saw it, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, and then as you saw the match, you saw that it's starting to get redder, like more blood's leaking out probably.
Yeah, and Seth Rollins trying to work safely, God bless him, pushing that Kendall stick into it, pride didn't help either.
And then right after Cody Rhodes, we hear Adam Cole's torn up. He's banged up. He has a torn shoulder, and then he gets concussed at Forbidden Door 1 and is out for half a year.
9 months.
Get a second one in a couple of weeks that puts him almost at risk of never doing this again, let alone becoming permanently disabled.
And then Seth Rollins comes out and says, "Oh yeah, I have a messed up back in multiple places. I have a damage with my knees."
And now they're using it in storyline against with Shinsuke Nakamura.
And here's the thing: it got reported. It's legitimate. It's not still full-fledged story. They're saying, "Hey, let's take Seth Rollins. I hear you're injured. Let's make that a story and exploit it more so we can cripple you."
That
would get you to go to Hollywood.
That's freaking foolish. And I'll give Steph credit where credit's due. He has made this consolation prize, his words included, something to actually behold and sought after to a degree on Monday Night Raw versus Roman Reigns' fake-ass prop.
Yeah,
so if Shinsuke is actually the guy to pass off to him, I would like it, but something tells me they're still going to continue to push it on Seth.
Yeah.
No, but unless Shinsuke wins it and Damien cashes it in, and then Damien wins it.
But here's the thing: do you want it to be Shinsuke who dethrones him, or LA Knight, and then we could build Damien?
Yeah,
it's a Mania shit.
LA Knight's a SmackDown superstar.
Yep.
Do you think they care?
No.
The draft doesn't matter no more. It doesn't.
Why do you have separate brands?
The tournament was started with Raw and SmackDown stars.
No.
It doesn't matter to them.
The draft didn't even care.
What the fuck Survivor Series gonna be then?
Watch. It's going to be basically team this person versus team this person.
No,
watch.
I know what's going to be. It's going to be WWE versus NXT 5.0.
Oh, God.
Oh, dude, not this again. No, not that again. We've already had that in 2019 with Raw and SmackDown versus NXT, and we saw how that turned out.
Yeah, except that was Triple H's NXT. This is Vince's NXT.
But still, with the competition with AEW, with NXT versus AEW, you know why NXT had that win.
Yes.
And Vince still buried them.
So...
and here's the other thing. Kevin Owens came out and said, I have fractured ribs.
Yeah, and he came back on the SmackDown after the Dark and worked the match on Monday.
Well,
after about only 3 weeks after SummerSlam.
Well, they can't relinquish the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championships. That'd be too much like rights.
And Sami Zayn now is coming out and saying, I have multiple injuries, but I'm still going to work because I'm kind of an idiot. Oh, and I also have this damaged elbow that looks like I have to...
Yeah, that looked disgusting. That looked nasty.
It reminded me of when Cena had that injury, remember?
Yep, I remember.
Yeah, and at least he just finished the match he did and left until he came back and won the World Heavyweight title from Alberto Del Rio. But that's a different subject. And bury Damien Sandow with one move.
Jesus Christ.
And now Damien Sandow is Aaron Stevens in the NWA managing a tag team.
You're welcome.
Not the NWA because Tyrus is going ahead and being a bigoted idiot.
Oh.
In other news, I will give a bright thing about NWA. Congratulations to Camille. She is now one of the top 5 longest reigning NWA Women's World Champions of all time in that title's history. Congratulations to the Burke. Good luck against Natalia Markova at the Chase at NWA 75, where we'll see if the breakout is still Burke or is a beautiful disaster finally going to dethrone 1X herself. I can't wait. But yeah, let's go back to this because bottom line, Cody Rhodes, yes, he should have won WrestleMania. Should he win next year at WrestleMania? Will it still matter at WrestleMania when Jey Uso exposed the fact that Roman Reigns is mortal at Money in the Bank? And I'll give credit due. That Money in the Bank in the UK was pretty damn awesome. That was a pretty cool
deal. That's where it should have stopped at, in all honesty, for the bloodline. But
they didn't stop it. They changed it.
What do you all think of this weird injury problem train, especially also add in Bryan Danielson wrestling 10 more minutes with a broken arm?
Well, yeah, I don't know why people in the business believe there's so much pressure on them to hold a spot that they have to work beyond their capabilities to the point they're working even worse with injuries to the point that further weakens their body over time, and they may not be able to come back as strong from it, or come back nearly as soon from it.
Or is it because the fact that they could lose that spot? I mean, that they haven't been promised, like Chris Statlander. Tony Khan, like before she got injured, was promised a championship run. Lo and behold, She's TBS world champ. I mean TBS champ. Tony Khan kept his promise.
She's been a great TBS champ.
And look at Cody. He wrestled with a torn pec, gruesome, all that. And look, then he comes back. He wins the run. He gets to main event Mania. So clearly his spot was elevated from that.
But Eric,
but it was taking what else?
This isn't the Japanese discipline. This isn't the Japanese pro wrestling.
Yeah, I know. I'm condemning this
trend
that's going on. But here's another thing. Here's another thing. Remember Eddie Kingston had to leave and have hernia surgery?
Ooh, yes.
It was reported he was keeping this secret for months from the management because he was still under that 20-year mentality of, okay, I gotta keep wrestling, I gotta keep going, I can't lose my job, I can't go poor.
Eddie Kingston is different though. This guy believes the business.
But here's the thing. Here's the difference between all those other guys and what Eddie Kingston did. Eddie Kingston said, "You're right. I'm not in that 20-year mentality anymore. I'm signed to a full-fledged company, full-time. I'm secured. I'm sorry that I kind of fucked this whole thing up." At least he admitted this was messed up.
You know what's weird? People can say what they want about Eddie Kingston. He truly is as real as this business gets, for real. And he's aware of it, too. He's aware of himself, where he stands in this business. At the end of the day, he does because this is his life, man, for real. And when he won that Strong Championship, my God, the outpour of freaking support and love for that man. Which he still is, by the way, champion. But it sounds like Aaron Henare might want a piece of him still.
So yeah, as you can hear from my tone, I do not like this horrendous trend that's been going on since 2019.
A good sub chant, because at this point, I don't think Cody needs to finish the story. Cody, you want to be the player versus the coach. You're a player in WWE. I wish you the best in the continued career.
So now that I got my side of the stuff going on, what do you both think of the injury wrestling trend?
It's ridiculous. I completely agree with you. Again, the status quo, this mindset of peer pressure where you feel like the moment you take your foot off the gas, you risk losing your spot. And sad to say that has been the case for some that literally works their workers to the grave. But also the idea that you have to work such an extreme schedule, but also maybe an extreme style in the ring just to keep a spot on TV, I feel is another miscarriage or misjudgment of the business, of the industry. Hell, even Impact Wrestling doesn't have nearly as many insane, extreme death match scenarios, let alone crazy-ass angles, with their small, condensed roster that they book very strong on a weekly basis all around, might I add, not just the women. Well, the women are still the strongest, the Western Front there, I said it. It is a scary thing to see more and more people going with this idea that I can work through this injury as long as I can until the wheels fall off, and then still could come back and have my spot, knowing that they very well might not have that. I mean, hell, Dakota Kai, she's still freaking injured. And yes, like Io Sky, congratulations on finally becoming a champion in WWE, by the way. About damn time. That's not just NXT. Why Dakota Kai is still injured. Yeah, she was there in the moment with her friend, but she still is not able to wrestle in any capacity. And I thought Dakota Kai was going to be the first one to break away from damage control and become a freaking singles champion. So it's a scary thing with these people we support that themselves believe, somewhat to a degree, I have to work such an extreme circumstance to stay relevant in the industry. I think it's foolish, and I hope that at some point people find a happy medium that, okay, I love what I do, but I don't need to break my body while doing it every day. I need to know my limits, and the promotion needs to recognize my limits too. It needs to be a conscious, aware decision on both worker and booker to consider the individual's extent of their physical well-being before it breaks them entirely, before they break their damn fucking body.
Okay, your thoughts, King?
Basically, just let the promoter know if you're hurt, then just come out and say it. Don't be like don't keep it a secret. Don't break your body. Don't break your mental health because I'm working injured and the pressure gets to me and all that. If you're hurt, go. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to get surgery if it needs to be require surgery, or go to rehab. Just whatever. I'm tired of this trend as well. Like, I mean, let's see. Forbidden Door last year, Cursed. We had Forbidden Door 2 this year. And now the injury bug came back and was like, all in. Targeting this one. Pat, Jamie Hayter.
Damn it.
Do I need to continue?
Might as well, because we're going to
I
talk about that
mean,
very soon.
oh, I forgot. Scorpio Sky. Hello, Scorpio Sky. You're injured too. Hello.
You got injured again?
Yep.
What? He just came back.
That my thoughts exactly.
Oh, my God.
Well, according to the logic of the 6 or so people that made this popular, they're like, he's clearly not good enough. But here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to say. Okay, do you want to know what several has also admitted to on Raw about his back?
What?
He admitted his lumbar spine has 2 fractures.
Oh, Jesus.
He's lucky he doesn't look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame and needs a walking cane.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh God, WWE's gonna exploit this move set on. They're gonna have Nakamura just wail on his back for the next 2 weeks.
Axe kicks, all the axe kicks possible. I know about your dick.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh God, why is this a thing? And here's the thing: there's also Rhea Ripley. She also, remember, she revealed after the Rumble, oh yeah, my knee popped off and I had to slot it back in at the beginning of the match.
Right. Yep, Finn Balor-esque.
And yet she went how many minutes with Charlotte Flair?
The entire match.
Match.
She lasted the entire Rumble with a popped knee, which is why I didn't get mad over the Nia Jax botch because, you know, she had a popped out kneecap. And I was like, okay, so long as WWE now knows this, they can have her off. So they can still have her cut promos and all that, but they can like not have her wrestle, and they have her wrestle matches. Got it. Oh, God damn it.
Right. Well, got to sell the merch. Got to have mommy there with Dirty Dom.
Merch.
Got to keep that going. Got to keep that thing going. So there you go.
Don't ever stop. Don't ever stop. Keep wrestling until you're literally 5 feet in the grave.
I mean, Undertaker literally wrestled and had his bones frozen countless matches afterwards.
Orbital fracture.
Injections. Let's not forget he had injections heading into his match.
Orbital fracture.
Let's not just blame it on those few people of today, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega. All right, this goes way beyond. This has always been a stigma. It's just a heavier stigma now with the industry than ever before.
But here's the thing, though. Whereas back then, at least I could somewhat understand because think about this. Undertaker, Mick Foley, we all know they did insane stuff and they probably regret doing it now. But like at least back then they could make the argument we were at war with WCW and they were trying to put us out of business. What do the other ones have? What do the modern ones have in terms of if we don't do this, the company will implode?
Let me see. They got
WWE is a multi-billion-dollar juggernaut. They're about to get $9 billion in their coffers, and AEW is doing pretty damn well, and it survived without Kenny Omega for a year.
Mm-hmm.
So
what's the loss? What is the loss here? Basically,
like, what's the danger at this point? Both companies are fine. Neither company's in danger of nothing.
Exactly. Just go ahead, take your break, do what's best for your body and your mental health.
Omega was like, okay, I know I have all these problems, but can I be back within like 2 to 3 months?
Even though Ospreay learned to finally take it easy, he even admitted, okay, yeah, I pushed myself a little bit.
Yeah, I used the Stormbreaker with my torn shoulder. I'm gonna have to tone that Stormbreaker down.
Yeah,
and I broke my neck fighting Marty Scurll.
Let's not forget, Kenny, by God, fucking Omega took a Tiger Driver in 91. We fought Will Ospreay.
Yeah, and people, we all thought he whoa.
That was damn near suicide.
Yeah, and I was like, okay.
Or when Omega V-triggered Mox through a cage, and we all thought he had a torn ACL, MCL, whatever.
Yeah, they got caught up on the damn rope.
But here's the thing I thought when I saw that. I was like, you have to imagine what Kenny Omega's doctor thinks about him at this point. I'm pretty sure he tells Kenny, look, you gotta stop, you gotta take some time off, man. And then Kenny's like, am I still legally allowed to be cleared in the broadest sense of the term? Yes, but okay, I'm going back to get my.
Have you seen how much kinesio tape these freaking people are wearing lately, particularly in AEW?
Especially Kenny Omega with that trios tag. Well, I won't even say trios tag because basically the bell never even rang.
Orange Cassidy has wrestled a strong
head to toe.
than Roman Reigns, and he is
Head to toe.
bruised and battered head to toe.
And he's made that AEW International. I'm just gonna come out and say it. The AEW International Championship is more prestigious in the mid card than the TNT Championship. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
You're absolutely correct.
I think really, if Christian just won the belt in the first place, it probably would still be an irrelevant stay other than Christian.
He is not the TNT champion.
He's not even recognized as champ, dude.
No, I mean, like, had he won at Double or Nothing instead of this in denial state.
Oh yeah, with the whole Arn Anderson war. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Saturday night TNT and Collision, King, you brought up earlier something about CM Punk. So let's go ahead and talk about that because WCW all over again. Yeah, it seems like I've got a WCW complex. No, you're not the champion. I'm the champion. No, you're not the champion. I'm the champion. Okay,
CM Punk
you're
is
the AEW World Champion, but I'm the real
world champion.
What?
He's basically Hulk Hogan. I mean, we've seen it every Saturday. He's basically Hulk Hogan mannerisms, brother. That's basically what it is, fellas.
I think I know why he's doing that. I think I know why.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Because Eric Bischoff said on public radio, on public podcast, that CM Punk is worse than the sociopathic racist.
And then you have all these people say, "Oh, he spray painted the E. He spray painted the E. I know why he spray painted the E." Stop it. Get over it. Get some help. It's not going to happen anytime soon. As much as you want CMFTR and the Elite, battle it out. Right now, it is not looking like it. As much as lawyers and all this other hokey pokey crap is going on, it's not happening right now.
Yeah.
So, all right, but let's go ahead and
also, I'm here to ruin more joy. Have you been hearing about that big India special event?
Oh yes, that WWE Superstar Spectacle. Yes.
Oh,
yeah. And John Cena set his wrestle there. Yeah, it's gonna be up.
I thought he only wrestles one match a year now. What the hell?
No, they got him advertised to wrestle at India for a Superstar Spectacle.
Yeah. It sounds like it's gonna be insane.
Don't give him any ideas because they haven't named an opponent yet. Watch it be Jinder Mahal and Shanky.
I'm hoping LA Knight just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
You can't have LA Knight lose to John Cena. You can't.
Beat John Cena. John Cena doesn't have anything to lose at this point.
He really doesn't.
They're not gonna do that.
They will.
They will. I agree. They will. Watch.
But here's the thing. After all this hype and all this news and all this stuff, guess what just came out?
What?
It's not airing on TV and Peacock.
Nope. It's not.
Private special.
Yeah. Only India gets to see the show, and it's a house show, basically.
Right.
But it's gonna be glorified.
But back when this CM Punk thing, especially with the feud with Ricky, it's like the crowd, ever since he's been back, the crowd's been booing and more boos, and then more boos, and then even more boos, and I'm just like, Tony, why are you not pulling the trigger on a heel Punk? It's right there in front of your face. We've all seen what heel Punk can do. 434-day reign, voice of the voiceless.
Straight Edge Society.
Straight Edge Society. It's literally right there in your face, but you don't want to pull the trigger. Why?
I don't think it's not because he wants to pull the trigger. I think he just feels like we could, but it's like it
was already done and it worked out so well in the other place.
I think it's because they're kind of in this no-win situation with fans, because it's like if he stays a face, he'll be hated. If he turns heel, then people will either cheer for him like a maniac, or they'll say, "Oh, I'm gonna stab him," basically on Twitter and all that, because they keep treating like Punk is the worst thing to happen in wrestling since Vince McMahon.
But they're still treating that now.
Yeah, about to say, Eric, not much has changed. And I think CM Punk's aware of that. Boo me, love me, hate me, cheer me. You all do it because I know I'm right. I think CM Punk is aware of his place and the fact that he is such a out of place puzzle piece in this industry, but he still remains relevant.
Yeah. And it's exactly on this month, almost like a few days ago, on this day 2 years ago when he returned, it basically makes you wonder. I mean, as much as 2 years has gone by, and then what happened back in September, which I will leave that confidential.
Please.
Like, how do y'all feel about CM Punk now that it's been 2 years?
Well, considering that he was gone for the better part of 1
Near
year,
decade, I say he's been doing pretty well in the ring.
hey, people still go back and remember that pipe bomb shoot work somewhat promo from that freaking seat in that stage in Las Vegas, and how much truth there is still with that to this day, despite the fact the industry again is thriving. There's no denying CM Punk was right.
And it's like he could be. It's like he's like a Bret Hart situation. He's cheered in Chicago, but he's booed everywhere else.
Yes,
Pretty much. And we saw
at least he get to fulfill his childhood dream of becoming a Bret Hart emulator.
True.
Yeah.
We haven't had a screw job yet, also, so there you go.
Oh, no, I'm sure
although we
going to cook something up. Oh, by the way, King, I got an update from Maki Ito.
Mikey!
Why?
Well, she called out Matt Cardona.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, God. Well, I know how that's going to go down.
Well, here's the thing. Maki Ito called Matt Cardona and said Matt Cardona is a
Oh boy.
Starts with a P. I'll just let you interpret what I mean by that.
So yeah, CM
She's
Punk.
just on Twitter. It's still on Twitter. Hold on, let me see if I can get it up there.
Oh Lord.
If I think what I think he's about to say, I'm dropping my headphones again. Oh boy.
I don't approve of this at all. Neither do I. Anyway, yeah, and the fact of the matter that Ricky Starks is now, let's just call it what it is, besides Christian Cage, Ricky Starks is now the heel of AEW Collision.
Yeah, and plus now he's the manager to Big Bill.
How you doing? Let's go ahead and see what this is.
Okay. Oh.
Yep,
Jesus.
that's what I figured.
Yep, I knew it. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't say jabroni because that was the Iron Sheik's gimmick. She had to go right there for the part.
No. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Anyway.
she was apparently agreeing with Nick Gage about it.
Oh no, Nick. Oh shit.
There's a name we haven't heard in a while since Marshall Slamovich and him clash. I forget, is Marshall Slamovich still the GCW heavyweight champion? I don't think she is.
I was about to bring that to your attention. I'm like, is she still the world champ?
I don't know.
Well, you want to know why this is happening?
Because they're both insane in the membrane.
Well, that, but also
so?
guess what's going to happen on GCW programming? Guess what happened on the 19th of GCW Homecoming?
The fact that GCW still exists is an anomaly in the industry. All right, but go.
And Matt Cardona's putting it on his back. But anyways, continue.
Maki Ito actually teamed up with Nick Cage to fight Matt Cardona and a partner of his.
Steph DeLander.
The Death Queen.
The Deathmatch Royalty Group.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just going to say this for the record. If Marshall Slamovich is still the GCW heavyweight champion, she needs to defend that title against Rina Yamashita from freaking Freedoms after that freaking death match from that Freedoms pay-per-view with El Desperado, Jun Kasai, Tanaka, and Rina. Because that girl legitimately is a death match bitch. That girl crazy. Go watch that match yourself, folks.
Even more crazy than yeah, Allie.
You stop that. Every time. Time.
Look, surprisingly, I didn't bring it up.
But every time on the ATW View, you all have to bring that up. By the way, I'm just going to make a nice note of the injury anomaly to the comeback situation and promise and progress. It is so happy to see people like Chris Statlander, like the Bunny, like others, even Dakota Kai in a novice capacity, come back to our screens, because the fact of the matter, we are fans, but these people live for this. And some people don't live for it just for the money. They truly do love this. And Allie is one of those that does absolutely love this, although I still think she should have won. I'll talk more about that later. And I'm just glad to see people are able to come back, find their spot with open arms and a welcome, and just feel like a part that's been missing from them is back in their lives. It's a really beautiful thing to see. So I do hope people like Dakota Kai, like Bryan Danielson, his fucking madness, Tymel, who of course is pregnant, but also let's be honest, she has been injured as well. We'll be back next year too. Danhausen will not have his blimp, and unfortunately at Wembley Stadium, but he will be back eventually. Always very nice to meet you. I'm sure Danhausen will be back again soon too.
Brian Danielson's going to be at Wembley, going to be at London.
He's got to be there in some capacity. It's Wembley for Pete's sake.
He's probably going to do some media appearances, but I wouldn't be surprised if he tells Tony, "Look, just put casts on my arm, and I can go out there and use my cast as a weapon."
For the Stadium Stampede match.
Please do not give them ideas. We'll talk more about that later. Jamie Hayter, get well soon.
Yes.
Fucking nerds, but I digress. Again, to anybody out there with an injury, even Steve Macklin is on his way back to Impact Wrestling. To anybody out there that has endured an injury that literally took you off TV, get well soon. To those that are literally dealing with injuries that are about to take you off TV, whether you realize it or not, take care of yourself before it gets way out of hand, beyond a point that you may not like. That's all I got to say about that. But anyway, yeah, back to CM Punk. So, yeah, CM Punk, the winner of AEW Collision, and Ricky Starks taking the reins as the heel next to Christian Cage, inadvertently. It is an interesting dynamic seeing how much time then the development, I mean, Christian Cage, again, veteran of the industry, but Ricky Starks, he went from babyface to heel just like that in a flash, and all it took was a friggin' belt whipping to a legend.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of crazy when you think about it.
Also, I want to mention this. Did anyone see what CM Punk was wearing on him last week on Collision?
Best in the world, but it was in it was that Saft strike, right?
Yeah. I'm kind of amazed David Zaslav did not go on his knees and be like, "You betrayed me, Pop."
Give me $1 bill, Phil.
Yeah, because Warner Bros. Discovery hates the strike.
Yeah, dude.
I'm surprised David Zaslav did not order go black screen on that. We cannot have him do that.
Well, as long as AI continues to develop further than the human mind, I have a feeling that all the writers might be in very much a lot of trouble for a long time, unless they learn to adapt with it and use it.
Well, in my
trying
opinion,
to fight it.
Here's the thing. Okay, I know we're going a little off topic, but this could also affect wrestling down the road because, imagine, Vince is probably thinking, if I just hire AI, if I just use AI, I can fire all those writers who come up with ideas better than me.
AI influence on the industry. Next thing you know, ChatGPT is the new Michael Cole.
I was just about to say that.
Here's the thing. WWE reportedly is actually monitoring the situation with the Hollywood strike.
Oh,
I'm not surprised.
Does that mean that
stuff?
Wait a minute. You saying WWE is monitoring the whole Hollywood strike situation, right?
Yeah, even though they're not part of the union.
Isn't there a certain future Hall of Famer that's part of Hollywood that hasn't got the match with a certain tribal chief, and it's right there on the table that they don't want to?
Oh yeah,
take off.
Oh yeah. He gave him over 20. He gave the strike $20 million. Oh
Jesus. Dwayne supports it.
Just but again, Dwayne Johnson, if you have a different thought, he'll be like, it doesn't matter what you think. So.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Apparently, the Hollywood executives contacted the strike saying, we want to talk. And the strikes were like, oh, maybe they're finally coming to reason. When they got to the meeting, they only got a lecture saying, how dare you not go with our only counteroffer that mostly benefits us. This is for your best interest that we throw you out the business.
And just pay you while you're sitting at home like they freaking did in WCW.
Yep. Just hi Hogan. Hi Nash. Hi Hall. Hi. Rest in peace.
Did you? But speaking of WCW, two things happened. One, Eric Bischoff said AEW is like the inmates run the asylum. I'm like, doesn't that sound familiar, Bischoff? I'm sure we can put our heads together. ...
But I'm just saying. But yeah, before you know it, ChatGPT will literally be writing sports entertainment for everybody.
Well, guess who also came back? Guess who also got in the news?
What?
Who?
a former WCW director. He came on interview on the Insiders podcast. He said this. Director, let's see. I'm trying to get the name. Dan Byram, I think. I'm pretty sure I butchered that last name wrong, but
Probably.
okay.
I'm unfamiliar with a Dan.
Right.
Well, this is what he said. When Hogan came in, he and I did not hit it off. Let's say, to me, he is, and excuse my French, a narcissistic, personality disordered psychopath.
Damn.
And a terrible person to be around with. He's a shoot heel, as far as I'm concerned, and he may not want to be in wrestling anymore.
Ooh.
Oh, righty then.
All right. Tell him how you really feel.
I don't know if he should at this point, man. He's already burning bridges. Like Baron Corbin apparently is burning down ships in NXT. I had to say it.
Yeah, well, guess what he also revealed?
What?
The director revealed this. Okay, so we were sharing this promo with Jim Ross at the time when he was still in WCW. And was interviewing him. Hogan and Jimmy Hart were there. And guess what he decided to reveal? He revealed, so I had the 3-shot. Jim Ross goes to Jimmy to do his promo. I cut to a shot of Jimmy, and Hogan all of a sudden is screaming, "Cut, cut, cut!" And then Hulk into the camera, he said, "You never take a camera off the Hulkster, and you never cut too close to see these pythons."
Yeah, Hulk Hogan was full of himself back then, and still is to this day.
And I'm just like,
Terrence at this point,
how is he not blacklisted for his insanity and his egotism problem?
Brother,
remember, he's a real American.
Fighting for the rights of every man.
Well, at least he got that part accurate nowadays, considering how America's like.
Damn! He is not wrong.
No, he is not.
That is the line of the night, folks.
Yeah.
All right.
You can clip that if you want to, folks.
Damn.
Here's the thing. I know we're going off topic, but this still technically relates to the wrestling side because there is a guy that was in wrestling.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
But I have a question.
Go for it.
How would you feel if you were told how would you feel if one of your family members came and said some horrible thing? Yeah. Hold on, I'll be right back. My cat's in.
Oh.
I got the cat's out of the bag. All right. Well.
Anyway.
I just had to say it.
I heard that. Anyway,
you threw a softball. I had to fucking swing.
Boom! Over.
Okay. So let me just point this out. Okay, we all know who I'm talking about in terms of when it comes to the real world politics.
Tyrus.
He's a Hall of Famer.
No, it's not Tyrus.
Well, how would you feel if someone in your family or friend group said they trust this person more than you?
And he's a Hall of Famer.
Probably awkward. Or I'd be
probably uncomfortable.
I'd be questioning their mindset.
Oh, yeah.
That looks normal. Yeah.
Donald J. Trump.
A guy that is going to do anything possible one day to be president of the country again.
Unless he loses the court trials, in which case, thank God for that.
Who I still can't believe to this day is a WWE Hall of Famer and a celebrity week.
I'm not surprised he helped Vince out. He's Vince's
because Linda was part of his cabinet.
And he cut Vince's hair at WrestleMania. So there you go.
And he funded WrestleMania at one point.
Well,
Battle of the Billionaires.
Battle of the Billionaires, they truly went all out. But I think that being said, we've had a good hour and 20 minutes of miscellaneous discussion. Why don't we go ahead and get right into the reason that we're here, actually. And I don't know, this is what the interview is. Talk all things wrestling and some random nonsense too. Chaos galore. Someone pisses me off for a moment. And then we get right into what we want to truly talk about too. And I'm sure we'll figure out another way to go off tangent too. So I'm just going to simply say this. Here we fucking go as we finally talk about the biggest event in wrestling history. Damn it! but I digress. And I still feel like Tony Khan's a fucking madman. Is going to add at least one or two more matches because Zero only has one match. But fuck it. It's all we have right now. So let's just go ahead and go with it because it's the story of the summer. It's the story of the damn night. It's Adam Cole and MJF, baby, for the Real Barber Tag Team Championships. Going after Aussie Open that won them back at Death Before this freaking honor. And I'm just going to say this. Do not think there will be a monarchy that will be sitting idly aside and will not let their presence be known to a degree if thy king's will be carried out. King, go ahead and give your thoughts real quick on this because we know there's a third option to this match where at the end of the day, it was MJF that got pinned by FTR when Adam Cole and MJF went after the ATW Tag Team Championships. And we saw we was constantly teases with the hug, teases, the hug, teases, the hug. And now we're here, and Roderick Strong said, "Baby, you will see the real Adam Cole and the real MJF at Wembley Stadium." Oh, by the way, for those that don't know, Wembley Stadium, 80,000 plus fucking people. Damn it! But I digress. Congratulations, AEW.
We toppled WrestleMania 32, everyone.
80,846 to be exact, but nonetheless.
That's history, damn it. Congratulations, AEW. Respect that. And
yes.
You want to know what I think they should do for the commentary?
Go ahead.
I think when they head to the main event and it's about to start, and when they ring the bell, Tony Schiavone makes a callback by saying, over 80,000 plus, referencing a over 40,000 plus finger poke night. Except we actually do a real match and not just Hogan and Nash playing their games.
Well, accurate. Well, again, like you talked about, man, again, guys, 5 years. 5 fucking years later. AEW.
It's actually been 4, but go ahead.
4 or 5. Who's keeping track of time? AEW, yes, you're right.
I am.
For 4 years. But All In originally was in 2018, Eric, as you know, in Chicago. And that's when the name conceived. But this time they're going all in across the pond for the first time ever in London. That's fucking history, damn it. Anyway, sorry, King. Back
And
to
this
you.
is a debut event in the UK.
Right? Debut event in the biggest stadium in the UK, as Will Ospreay alluded to. Chris Jericho even said, this is bigger than WrestleMania. Mic drop, preach it, Ocho. There, I said it.
Yep. But,
Slender.
I don't give a fuck. It's the fucking truth.
He even got to double first to match it. But nonetheless,
go ahead, King.
Like you were alluding to the Kingdom and Roger Strong. I have a feeling this won't be, if they do make their presence known when it comes to this Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship match. I have a feeling this won't be the first time we see them. Because also, let's not forget, fellas, they also have a main event to close out the pay-per-view. But to start off the 0 hour,
we talk about that in a lot in depth here, folks. Stay tuned.
To start off the 0 hour, when it comes to the bro mix of the summer, the brochachos, as they call it. Let's call it for what it is. This was lightning caught in a bottle. When the AEW Tag Team Tournament, Blind Tag Team Eliminator Tournament first started, this was WCW Lethal Lottery 1992, which that was 2 years before my time. Shout out to 94 out there, 1994. What to think of it was when the pairings were first made, and then when Tony Schiavone drew MJF's name, and also he drew Adam Cole, I was like, we were all like, what? Like, what? But then they had one. But then they had one thing in common. But then they had one thing in common, and they let that presence be known. Shut up, Schiavone!
And that's when they fell in love and created the first anti-Schiavone hate club.
And then from that,
respect that legend, damn it.
And then from that standpoint, we had them go to a trampoline park, and then we had them eat at Outback Steakhouse.
Kids.
And then we had them start the genesis of, say it with me, double clothesline. And then MJF wants to do it. Is MJF's like, okay, well, we're going to study them from Australia. Okay, so we're going to go crocodile. We're going to study about kangaroo kicks.
Crikey.
But in all seriousness, this is Aussie Open. The injury that was first suffered with Mark Davis, and then upon his return, well, first of all, Kyle Fletcher had to relinquish the New Japan Strong and the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championships,
which are currently held now by Bullet Club War Dogs. We're not talking about that.
We're not talking about that's not my Bullet Club, but nonetheless, we'll talk
digress.
about that later. That happened at Battle in the Valley when Kyle Fletcher had to relinquish both of their belts.
Resurgence actually botched, but yes.
But
I do want to add this. But it ultimately guaranteed Aussie Open would join AEW when Tony Khan, out of the generosity of being a humble man, pays for their surgery.
Exactly.
There you go.
But ever since they came back, it's like I proclaimed, I'm not sure if you guys have, but I feel like 2023 has been Aussie Open's year, and now they're just basically, okay, we lost the New Japan Strong Tag Team Championship, and we had to relinquish the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championship as well. Let's just basically Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships, and let's continue where we, picked up from where we left off. And now here they are, 33 days as Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. And I feel like the cracks will be fully exposed before we get to the main event. I got Aussie Open retaining.
So at this point, it just feels like they have to retain. They just got the titles back, and it's like, the prelude to the final act of this story that didn't freaking disappoint you 2 times over in 1 year. Sorry, not sorry. So it's one of those things right now that I just wonder, how does the Kingdom come into play during or after this match, where clearly the end goal for the OGK is the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. They've been pursuing them since Ring of Honor has literally been redefined underneath Tony Khan and the board members of Stokely Hathaway and Jerry Lynn. So it's one of those things where, I just got to say that the Open takes this. And, for this card that has, 9, 10 matches now and apparently still not fully done, each match does tell a story to a degree, and I can really appreciate that. And why it does feel like some of these were kind of like rushed together, there is a longer underlying elements of storytelling that AEW might not educate us enough on, because commentary doesn't know how to do that still, major flaw. But also video packages sometimes doesn't tell us that either, and not everybody simply watches the countdown. I do think it helps they do these playlists, though, that really tell the story, like they did the Bromance of the Summer with MJF and Adam Cole, highlighting their matches, but more so putting in-depth look at their clips, at their shenanigans, at the teases of the ring, the proverbial stabbing in the back, the super kick, the belt shot, just saying. And, of course, we saw that, and we'll talk more about that later. But that's the only one we got for the freaking 0 hour at this point. So,
excuse me, I just want to mention something.
Yeah.
So remember when we were talking about earlier before the podcast that we thought Rampage would be off the week?
Yes.
Okay, so I just found this out from 411 Mania. Apparently Rampage did do tapings before Collision that last week.
There you go. It's a tape Rampage this week.
Yes.
So instead of Ring of Honor, there you go, King. They did a freaking Rampage prior to Collision. All right, so that must mean they probably did some subtle Ring of Honor content after Collision.
I don't know about that part, but guess what I did find out?
What?
The AAA Latin American champion, QT Marshall, fought Gravity.
What?
Bentino's younger brother, for those that don't know, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
the man that Gravity did not forget.
Well,
but I find it
Gravity.
But I find it interesting how QT Marshall can be booked outside of AEW predominantly better than in AEW, because at least he's champion over there representing AAA as their Latin American champion, but in AEW just QTV.
But maybe he's not trying to be booked as a champion in AEW. Let's not forget QT Marshall's role in AEW, King. He's not only a coach, he's kind of a producer in his own right. He kind of guides talent. That's why he's been doing the thing with Follow House.
And how's that going?
Well, Powerhouse Hobbs has a match with Miro, if that means anything.
Yep.
On a pay-per-view. Singles match.
big men. You know the rest.
Well, again, the book of Hobbes trying to write the chapter on redemption at the expense of the Redeemer. That's a story yet to unfold, and that will unfold it all out, which we'll, of course, talk about later. And for those that don't know, yes, Tony Khan's a freaking madman. Not only do we have AEW All In this Sunday, folks, but guess what? The following Sunday, you got another pay-per-view as we go all out here in Chicago.
Okay, Noah, I need you to do something important for me.
Uh-oh.
What?
I need you to dramatically take your glasses off for what I'm about to say for this Rampage taping.
If you're telling Noah to dramatically take his glasses off, I don't like where this is going.
Serpentico defeated Truth Magnum. Serpentico won a match.
Wow. Serpentico wins.
Oh, also, KT Marshall put his Latin American Championship on the line against Gravity.
That's an interesting match.
But also, Orange Cassidy defended the international belt.
What?
Against Aaron Solo of QTV.
Oh, Jesus.
God, come on. That's not a defense. That's a
I agree. That's not a title defense.
Luchasaurus destroyed a jobber, local competitor.
Well, of course.
And Outcast, consisting of Saraya and Tony Storm, defeated Hikaru Shida and Britt Baker.
Oh, interesting. Now that's something to think about ahead of the women's 4-way. In fact, you know what? Good sub-tangent. Fuck it. Let's do it. It's the only contest on this card that involves the women. I'm just going to say this real quick before I give this to Eric, since he kind of set the softball for it. Respect women in fucking wrestling, damn it. Book them better. Put some more respect on
I'm trying
them.
to wonder, where the hell is the TBS title, for God's sakes?
I don't freaking know.
I know Chris Statlander's on Collision, which is like 10 different flavors of what the hell, because TNT, TBS, I thought we had that fixed by now.
Let's not go down that road again and get me pissed off when it comes
But like, how do you not have anything for Chris Statlander for the freaking All-In event? I know many haters have action, but that doesn't necessarily mean all of women wrestling's out of business.
I hope they do some of the 0 hour for this time, but it does. But honestly, they really haven't set up a story with the TBS.
Here's an idea. Here's an off the wall idea. Get Rio versus Chris Statlander there.
I mean, heck, they had Riho.
Or Ruby.
I got it. Emi Sakura. She's been advocating.
Yes. Thank you.
Yep.
She's been saying Emi Sakura for Webley. Come on.
0 hour.
Look, all I'm gonna say is this: they booked Emi Sakura before, they booked Riho before for the 0 hour. So I don't think it's a bad idea at all. But I'm just gonna put this up as a subject. I was gonna put this as a topic, but I think we've had enough subtopics for tonight. But fuck it, why not? Respect women's wrestling. That's why Impact Wrestling and Style are the best in the business. WWE, AEW, get their fucking act together. I will say Collision does.
Well, at least AEW is improving better than WWE's been.
Collision, yeah.
I mean, hey, Becky Lynch has lemonade now, so at least she has a nice drink watching.
Oh, about that lemonade though.
Yeah. Wait, did you know what happened about that?
When life gives you lemons. What?
Did you hear Triple H took a shot at Becky for that? Yeah, he did after SummerSlam at the press conference. Definitely no drama there.
Definitely. That's the reason why. Yeah.
He didn't mention her name, but he was like when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And I was like, wow, this is about as passive aggressive as Tony Storm's comment to Thunder Rosa.
Well, at least she provided lemonade to freaking Michael Cole and Wade Barrett at ringside.
But
no.
You're trying to basically say your top woman wrestler is being sour about this. And I'm like,
but she is drinking lemonade.
God, you've been building that match for months. And did you hear what happened on Raw?
No.
Count
I don't watch Raw.
Well, guess what happened on Raw with Trish Stratus? And I must stress this is Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch.
Oh yeah, Trish.
The crowd was speaking in their native tongue, and guess what it was translated to?
Tell it to them. Tell it to him.
We don't fucking care. We don't fucking care. They
And
were
this is a
telling
Hall of
Trish
Famer.
Stratus and Becky Lynch, we do not fucking care about your cage match.
No, and that's at Payback.
Yes.
Right, because payback matters.
But yeah, that's how bad this has gotten for the women. Like, now Trish Stratus is being thrown to the wayside for fans.
Trish Stratus's value, the longer this goes, will continue to devalue.
Boy,
And
they
I
really-
can't believe I was saying that because I respect Trish.
I'm sure a lot of people do.
I'm pretty sure this all started not just because of SummerSlam, but because they finally had the match on Raw, and it ended in a count-out.
This is why I don't watch the WWE.
I don't.
Really much. I stick around for PLEs because PLEs have some content, but
Yep.
honestly, I just wonder how many more times you got to spin the wheel, 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 spin the wheel,
Until it
spin the wheel,
eventually
spin the
breaks.
wheel. Yeah, but is it ever going to break at this point? You remember when you had a bicycle and you just held it upside down and you just did this for no real reason at all? You just kept spinning the wheel and spinning the wheel and spinning the wheel. I mean,
Look,
literally,
it's
someone
gonna
can
break
turn this to
one
a
way
gift
or
if they want
another.
to.
Either Vince passes away in the chair or gets arrested, and they have a power vacuum. Let's be real. That's the only way Vince is going to go out. He wants to die on the chair.
Well,
Ari Emanuel even said it on the CNN announcement.
Well, at least there's Impact Wrestling star and AEW is progressing, but they still have work to do.
Well, because of Becky Lynch is clearly being sour about Triple H's behavior, guess what she decided to do?
Oh, jeez.
Tiffany Stratton on NXT. I'm sure you heard about this, Noah, where she was
called it last night. She even said that Becky Lynch never won the X Women's Championship.
Yeah, well, guess what happened?
Becky responded, ... Yes.
I haven't been NXT Women's Champion yet.
Here we go. Yep, just like I alluded to before we talk about this AEW All In. Yep, I alluded to it. Nick Khan and all the rest of them want to take credit for making it NXT third brand, and here we are.
Guess what she said? Guess what Tiffany Stratton said to the trolls on Twitter who were pointing out her mistakes? She then said this about Becky Lynch, and when I heard this, I was like, you're a dead woman. She called Becky Lynch irrelevant.
Yep.
She's boned. Well, I'll tell you one thing that's not relevant. These four women here, as we do have this fatal four-way, our only women's contest officially booked for AEW All In. I still say
more. I need more women wrestlers.
We need more than just we need. If you want to respect women's wrestling, if you're going to need, if you're going to respect women's wrestling, we're going to need more than one. I don't care if you put it on the 0 hour. Have more women.
More than the Bunny in a tag match.
I don't think Bunny's been cleared yet.
Shut up.
Bunny has been cleared. Bunny, Bunny has been cleared because she was in that AEW women's qualifier to compete in that fatal four-way.
That fucking match. There it is. Was not prepared for that fucking match at all. That should have been for a moment. I expect the Outcast to fuck this up, but I get it. She was involved with the first All In.
Well, to be fair, no, Britt Baker's banged up.
Absolutely irrelevant nonsense for a freaking return. Can I stop a sub-tangent because that'd be too creative.
I honestly want Sky
Is it safe to come back now?
I want Sky Blue to be in the match, honestly.
Yeah, me too. But anyway, we got this. Again, she was involved in the first All In, Dumbreaker DMD, and now she's back all in London. It's going to be interesting. 80,000 people say DMD. Toy Storm, of course, became NXT UK Women's Champion. But again, Marilyn Monroe 2.0 without the fan underneath her. She is now trying to go back and be a 3-time AEW Women's World Champion. Saraya, I never thought I'd fucking see Saraya again wrestle in the UK. And now Saraya returns home truly to her house in the biggest stadium in the UK, taking on the 2-time AEW Women's World Champion in her biggest moment to date in front of the biggest crowd ever in AEW history, Hikaru Shida. Okay, first off, I'm just going to put that out here. To AEW's credit, when it comes to fatal four-ways, they know how to book the women's division, the strongest in that capacity. We have seen it countless times over, whether it's for championships or number one contendership. It seems the Fatal 4-Way is the strongest strength for the AEW Women's Division next to tag team matches. Based on what
I have a comment about that. I think the only reason they do that is because realistically, could you honestly imagine a Fatal 4-Way match only being less than 5 minutes?
No.
Unless it's Brock Lesnar.
No. I mean, these
So
Fatal 4-Ways.
So I think it's more like it's less than them they're good at it, and we're like, okay, we gotta actually put more effort into this because this is a multi-person match, and well, it'd be kind of dumb and unrealistic for people.
They do go the distance, to be fair, Eric. But again, Britt Baker, Carl Shida. Britt Baker took the top from Shida at Double or Nothing, of course, 2021. Tony Storm, of course, took it from Jamie Hayter. Damn it. This year at Double or Nothing. Lost to Shida episode 200. Saraya and Britt faced each other at Full Gear last year in Saraya's return match on pay-per-view. Saraya did win that match. And, of course, Britt Baker and Tony Storm, they have literally exchanged wins and losses. And at this point, it's just a matter of, is this the time the Outcasts finally reject each other when the biggest prize is at hand? May I remind you what happened last year at All Out for the interim? That was total bullshit. When Dr. Breaker, DMD, and Jamie Hayter almost had a fallout, but a common bond brought them back together. I always say it. Nobody in this industry should ever like being number 2. You're only number 1 when you have the prize. That is the championship. And while we did watch AEW All Access, and Britt even said, I don't know if I necessarily want to be in that spot again. Here we are. At the end of the day, if you're not in this position to be champion, you might as well retire. But I think Akashi has been highly underbooked and highly underregarded and should have a moment. And I think this needs to go on further till Jamie Hayter returns and we see who truly is the strongest one of them all.
Yeah, except it's just a big problem with Jamie Hayter, though.
Yeah, I know. She's out for a long time.
Yeah, until next year.
Until February.
Yeah.
Well,
and here's the thing. Here's the suckiest part about all this. Tony Khan can't fulfill his promise because it's like, okay, can we make another 80,000 event, or was this an anomaly?
Right.
I don't know necessarily. With how special this is, I don't think you need to do this annually. This may be a one-off, and deservedly so, but unfortunately, again, your body, it is what it is. So, I mean, hey, give it the moment of revolution.
Here's what people are worried about this Fatal 4-Way match.
Go for it.
They're worried about Saraya, mostly because they don't want her boyfriend's band involved in the show.
Ronnie Racky falling in reverse playing Zombified. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know anything as far as live performances go besides this match. But that does make me wonder, though, who is the fall?
Here's my best prediction. If Hikaru Shida is to win, here's how this is going to go. I can't do it. I'm the DMD, and I'm the most popular, most protected wrestler in the company. Well, I'm Saraya, and I can't do it. I'm a part-timer. And I am the new Marilyn Monroe. And this would probably work more for my dramatic angst. Damn it.
Yeah, because he's spot on, because every single week she is becoming unhinged. He's on point.
How much more unhinged do you want to see Tony Storm become, though, King? I mean, that is one of your favorites.
That is one of my favorites. Y'all know I'm about to hold up. Since you said that, it's time to bring back to. Okay, it's been a long time since we've done this, but the King's weather report is going to consist of 100% of unhinged Storm, because she will become unhinged if she takes the fall. So it's character development, and I love that, because basically we're seeing the more unhinged she can get with her character development with this Marilyn Monroe she's trying to portray here, and everybody is loving that reaction.
Actually, I have an idea. I have a very scandalous idea.
You're gonna try and throw a shoe during this match at somebody?
No. We make more references.
Oh, God.
Saraya and Tony Storm at first team up, then the betrayal happens, but not in the way you expect. No, it involves Saraya and banana cream pies.
Oh, how dare you!
Yes, I have no shame about what.
How dare you bring up Tony's past because of that?
Oh, come on. Let's be real. If they said it will work for us, that doesn't involve Vince's pleasure problems.
Oh, come on. They're in the UK. They'll just use a ball of spotted dick because it's just pudding.
Hey.
It's dessert, folks. Look it up. The more you know. Thank you, Russian Roulette. But yeah, it just feels like to me.
Hey, it could be worse. They could be in Italy. The reason why I reference that is because guess what I found out from a YouTuber?
What?
Apparently, there's this cheese company in Italy that has microscopic chips in their Parmesan to track.
Whoa.
All right.
And this is not even the government. This is corporations. I knew that they would come.
Did you just say microscopic chips in their cheese?
Yes.
I ain't got nothing to add on that. I don't.
Well,
I've heard no.
At least we can all agree that Hikaru Shida will get the holy Shida moment she's been looking for her entire career since she's wrestled now for over 15 years and is learning English quite well. Great interview, by the way, with Denise Salcedo. We all believe she is retaining, so at least we can all agree about that. Once again, Eric has broken us. Thank you, Eric.
Yeah.
Loon. Let's go ahead and get things back on track here. And speaking of getting things back on track, I do wonder at this point, is anything ever going to be back on track when it comes to just the elite finally being able to carry on and have peace when they are done? Because, well, get ready for generational Bullet Club warfare trios action. But first, what the heck, Eric, is this? What? Like copycats. You cannot copy our recipe. Okay, that's bloody insane.
All right, that was a nice little subtext. Well, not really subtext, but that was a nice little randomness.
Well, I don't. Well, I mean, I got nothing.
Well, now also, Kane, no, you realize what this means, right?
Food will soon be microchipped to prevent processing.
No, I was gonna say there's probably microchips in your stomachs now, in the aesthetic and coming out of the toilet.
Okay, I'm not sure how that's.
The Americans perverted internet access, and we will spy and get advertiser revenue.
All right, Stewie Griffin. Let's go ahead and move on from here and get back to wrestling before you give me indigestion of the worst sort. And I just had intestinal distress. Literally yesterday morning when I was stuck on a porcelain throne for an hour and 15 minutes. I don't need to do that again.
God.
I feel sorry.
It's not your fault. You know what? I'm going to leave that story alone. Let's go ahead and talk about the stories here in this trios match. As we have Heyman and Page, Kenny Omega, and yep, he's back in all his crazy madness with no neck. Kota Ibushi. They take on Bullet Club's Gold, Rock Hard, Juice Robinson. I had to say it right. The Switchblade, Jay White, and I don't think Switchboard.
It's Jay White Pole.
I know. Botch on my part. And I don't think Switchboard will be out there either.
Cardblade.
Cardblade? That's so stupid. Switchboard makes so much more sense. What? Boy, this place is more fucked up than I thought. And Evan Page off the damn rails here on the ATW View impromptu.
Look. And also, there's Bryan Danielson's favorite wrestler, the Rock Hard Juice Robinson. He's all about liking the hard stuff. I regret nothing.
And yet, Access TV has advertisements for Blue Chew during Impact Wrestling. What the fuck?
Oh my god, I'm crying.
Okay.
Oh my
god. King, your thoughts. Kenny Omega, Switchblade Jay White. Maybe I want to come since this goes all the way back to 2018.
Okay. This goes back to 2018 and the new beginning in Sapporo. Wait.
Fucking hell.
Oh
I need a drink.
Eric. Oh my goodness, dog. Oh my god.
Oh,
Okay,
God. All right,
so-
back to this.
back on track.
Jesus.
This all started 2018 with this rivalry between Kenny and Jay in the new beginning as Sapporo for the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship. But this before that,
Lord.
it just started when Kenny was trying to recruit Jay into Bullet Club. But we learned to find out a year later, Jay White did not want to be part of Kenny Omega's Bullet Club. And this is the man that took the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship away from Omega. And now here we are, 5 years. 5 years.
Like,
But it's going to be in trios action. But also, didn't Jay and Ibushi have beef as well?
Yeah, especially
Red-
since the last time they fought each other, Jay White cracked his skull open.
Wrestle Kingdom 15, folks.
Yep. Exactly. So, but Jay and Juice know Coda. They know Kenny. They know Hangman. Well, if Hangman even have any previous fight, well, yeah,
No,
no.
he had history. Hangman had history with Jay White.
Of course, with Jay, because let's see, IWGP,
New Japan Strong.
That's
and
true.
very strong.
So, and of course, with this, trios match going to lead to, obviously, to Omega and Takeshita if it's rumored to be scheduled for All Out, which is one way you can do it because it's basically doing Bullet Club warfare, elite warfare, and with this story.
Hey, at least Tony's finally fulfilling the promise of Bullet Club Civil War we were promised.
But let's be honest here. Konosuke is on the center for a reason. It's Kenny Omega versus Don Callis at the end of the day. I think King's on point when he thinks about what's going to separate all out, which might I add is the fucking following Sunday after this pay-per-view.
But basically when Jay White even alluded to saying the Elite, they think that they were the peak of Bullet Club, which is debatable. If you want to kind of say debatable, I mean, I'll allow that debate if you want to debate on that. I'll allow
it. King, clearly the peak of Bullet Club was when Evil turned on Naito.
Let's not go
Let's
back.
not go there, but nonetheless, the Golden Lovers, I'm gonna call this. I'm saying now the Golden Cowboys. I'm gonna call it this.
Also, here's the thing. Here's the funny thing. Someone pointed out.
What?
The last time we had Hangman, Omega, and Ibushi involved together, here's the thing. It was Full Gear 2021 or 2022. I've lost track on how chaotic that time was. But 2021, it was Hangman Adam Page versus Kenny Omega. And Kenny Omega sees a sign saying, "What would Ibushi think?"
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Those
that all
Ibushi
started
signs.
with Full Gear, and now look where we're at. The Golden Lovers reunited at Blood and Guts with the Golden Elite, and I still feel like Ibushi was uncomfortable in that match, but in neutral trio action,
well, he didn't get to break his neck or swallow some explosive.
But he still did a fucking standing moonsault post match on the damn cat.
Yeah, he did. He's still crazy. But anyways, but in neutral trios action, I think we're going to, in my opinion, I feel like Ibushi is basically going to show us that Ibushi, that he's still crazy and that he can still go like he's a crazy madman. And I expect the Golden Cowboys to, you know what, now that I think about it, if you're going to get Takeshita and Omega all out in Chicago the following week on that Sunday, gee, I don't know.
I have a perfect idea.
Go ahead.
Okay, here's my idea. 3 things. 1, the alliance of the Dawn family and Bullet Club Gold defeat the Golden Cowboys.
Okay.
But Coda takes the fall by Takeshita.
Oh.
Considering the King, they do go back all the way to DDT Pro in the early 2010s, where the Golden Lovers first truly began.
And even Takeshita was wearing Kota Ibushi's colors when he was supposedly to be a part of the Elite. Yep, like we had that.
Yeah, and here's the thing. After the show, Juice Robinson gets Cardblade White, and they get crowd surfed in the 80,000 crowd.
Switchboard. It should have been Switchboard.
Cardblade. No, a Cardblade.
Stupid. Cardblade. I will never recognize that thing as such. Anyway, besides, CarPlay isn't all elite. I haven't seen the graphic yet.
Well, MGF Star's technically not all elite, just Jake Hager's hat.
How's that hat, by the way?
I like that.
I think it got destroyed, but that's beside the point.
No, I got retired because Jake Hager retired it when the JAS disbanded. Remember, RIP. But I mean, heck, if I get Murder Ibushi engages, oh boy, Konosuke Takeshita, you are in for a world you are not ready. Just saying.
Okay, here's the best way to describe. So yeah, those were my pitches of what should happen, and it should be a fucking tragedy. At all in for Ibushi. Like Takeshita doesn't defeat him by pinfall nor submission. He defeats Kota because the referee has to emotionally stop the match, and he's just wailing at him like it's a Game of Thrones beatdown.
Well, Aubrey Edwards did save Chris Jericho from Adam Cole while he was unconscious, but that was a friggin' chain match.
Except we had more blood.
Well, it is Kota Ibushi we're talking about here. So, I mean, again, he's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen Kota Ibushi bleed, though, so that'd be a whole different first.
No, he's just mostly known for breaking his neck in the most stunning way possible.
Well, Switchblade Jay White loves to deliver Snapdragon, so I'm sure they'll find a way to make a scream. Listen, I can't go back and rewatch Tetsuya Naito's Kota Ibushi for reasons. I'm just saying.
I can't neither.
That match Dominion, I thought the dude was freaking dead. Just gonna put that out there right now. I thought I was freaking dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of dead, I feel like somebody is gonna go out in a blaze of glory as we have a first time ever, I believe. I can't recall this happening before in the industry, let alone AEW. Tag team coffin match with I'm sorry, that's not correct. Because as we saw on Dynamite, it got changed to this. What? And might I add, what? All right.
Well, to be fair, I think there was a 2-on-1 casket match again with the Ortons and the Undertaker.
Yeah, you're right, but that was handicapped. This is tag team. I'm just gonna say this real quick. I'm just gonna say this real quick. Christian Cage is not the TNT champion, but I digress. But Christian Cage has decided to step into place here after Darby Allin beat him on Collision. Might I add? Great match, by the way.
Nick Wayne did the job, not Darby.
Daggone right. Darby Allin and Sting, Joker Sting, by the way, take on Swerve Strickland, the Mogul Embassy, and the quote-unquote self-proclaimed TNT champion, Christian Cage, in a tag team coffin match. I'm just going to go back and keep saying it. One point, Sting said, Darby, you and I are going to go out in a blaze of glory. And since Sting has gone crazy, he has taken ... dives off ladders, through tables, taking a 650 splash through a damn table, and has been in warfare with the Painmaker, Chris Jericho, and went toe-to-toe, thankfully just standing at one point, against Minoru Suzuki. And
that's the most deadliest match. The man of 1,000 kicks, Orange Cassidy.
Yes. And then he decided to go back and get a little bit out of his skin. Jesus. And has become the Joker once again. Nervous because you should be. Go check out that Players Curse of Impact Wrestling. But the thing about this match is...
Oh, I know what they could do to top off the Daredevil antics of Sting.
Oh, God.
Yep, I knew this was going to happen.
What are you going to
say?
Okay.
Sting takes the fall in the casket match. And I probably might literally mean fall. Because my pitch is...
Oh, no.
Christian Cage borrows a move from Jericho, firing a fireball at Sting, and he falls into the casket on fire.
Oh, God.
Because I am insane, and I demand blood and guts.
I thought you were just going to say, let the casket on fire, like freaking...
Oh, no. That would be too easy. That was plan B.
Look, I don't know if this is what Sting meant by go out in a blaze of glory, but the only thing that's for sure about Sting with AEW, he has yet to lose on pay-per-view. And this is Wembley. 80,000 people. You're not gonna have Sting lose in a moment like this. I just can't see it happening. Joker Sting is unstable. TNA was able to get the better of him at times.
I mean, like, to be fair, Sting had to work with Hogan, and that's kind of a low bar to go with.
Well, that's fair. But
and he nearly bankrupted the company.
As far as this goes, I think they have booked themselves in the corner. Sting doesn't lose, and Darby is due to face Luchasaurus the following week for the TNT Championship at All Out. So it almost feels like you got to give the win to freaking Sting and Darby. I mean, Christian Cage here.
I already have the idea to how both parties win in this. Sting and Darby get the victory, but it's because of Keith Lee. We get Swerve and Keith Lee at All Out and finally end that goddamn story.
So Christian Cage goes in the coffin and gets buried once again like he got a Revolution?
I mean, Christian Cage is not even a champion. He's just there.
Yeah, he's just literally there.
And I suppose that's true, but again, he works everybody. So, I mean, but I do think you need to eliminate the Christian Cage element from the following match this upcoming Sunday, past All In. I do agree. I do think Sting and Darby Allin will get the win. It's just a matter of who gets planted in the coffin. AR Fox was our original guest because, well, bad blood. But we see how much respect Darby Allin has for that individual. And you gotta imagine with the Fence the Coffin match, the Mogul Embassy in their entirety is going to get involved in this thing. And now AR Fox is back on Darby Allin's side, so AR Fox and Nick Wayne will probably not be too far away either. So if Keith Lee is the X Factor, that very well might be how they finally set up Swerve versus Lee at All Out. But are they willing to do that? That's the other question. King, what's your thoughts on this tag coffin match? Nervous? Because I think you should be.
Y'all pretty much hit on all points. The only thing that's concerned about Sting, never mind.
Yeah. Accurate. Anyway, I think we about covered that to a degree. So at the end of the day, Eric, I don't want to see fire unless, it's in a mild capacity. Just saying. Plus, we're in the UK. I feel like there's going to be a different level of...
Look, I'm not advocating for complete fire. That's Extreme Pro Wrestling stick.
Okay, fair.
But I'm not that far out of the possibility that Darby won't drop somebody on the coffin. That's what happened.
You realize how many times Darby Allin has coffin drop into the damn coffin after the person's already in there?
Oh, I know what Sting. I think I know what Sting's gonna do at All In.
Oh no! Oh no!
Why did I even say that?
Why did I said something? Go ahead.
Helicopter entrance. WCW days.
Oh God!
Oh, Jesus.
Well, you can't get Danhausen in the blimp, so I guess that's the next best thing. We're setting up Stings for friggin' obituary at this point.
Yes.
or excuse me, eulogy, because the friggin' Swerve already got the cover.
Yep.
All right. Well, R.I.P. to whoever falls in that coffin, and I don't think it's going to be a very graceful sleep. So that's all I got to say about that. Let's go ahead and move on to a championship match because we talked about CM Punk earlier. I don't think it's about the championship as it's about legacy. Although I'm pretty sure Samoa Joe at the Collision is ready to give CM Punk a fatality. But here we go, folks. CM Punk and Samoa Joe 5 for the Real World Championship. On his way to being the longest reigning Ring of Honor television champion in Ring of Honor history, Samoa Joe looks to once again defeat CM Punk, who only got on the better of the Samoa Submission Machine one time, and that was during the Owen. And we've seen how personal this got when the friggin' Golden Vampire beat Samoa Joe.
AKA the Conquistador impersonator.
Yeah, right? Like, what the hell was that original idea? Non-original idea, but I digress. Either way, I'm just curious what the hell the reception is going to be, because UK could be Bizarro World. I mean, who's going to get cheered? Who's going to get booed? Which man's more respected or more recognized? And it's the first time the Real World Championship is being defended on pay-per-view. And it's on the same night as one MJF defending the Triple B. I'm just saying. King, your thoughts on this? You watch Ring of Honor wholeheartedly every week, just like me to a degree. So, I mean, again, both these men go all the way back to Ring of Honor when it comes to their legacy. And that's what Samoa Joe first wanted this match to be about. But it seems to be much more than that now.
Like they got screwed out of the trios match.
I mean, let's see. Samoa Joe even stated on Collision that he wanted to define their legacy, but not via roll-up. Because let's take it back to when they collided, Andy Owen and Punk won via what? Roll-up. So, and of course, Joe is still having animosity towards that. I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, I want one match where I really like to see the being defined by via roll-up. So, Joe has been on Punk's neck, has been on site, and as we saw last week on Collision, Joe cost Punk and, well, you can kind of say CMFTR for the Trios Championship against the House of Black when he got Punk in the Coquina Clutch and literally dragged him out of the ring into the crowd.
That was so damn good.
Oh, I have a spoiler for Collision if you want to hear it. About
fuck it. Go for it.
Samoa Joe was on commentary. We heard that announcement.
Yes.
CM Punk was in the 10-man. Was in that All-Star match. Guess who the mysterious partner was?
Spoiler alert in 3, 2, 1.
Send Hook.
What?
Yeah. And CM Punk got the victory for his team by defeating Brian Cage via Coquina Clutch.
Oh.
Message sent.
Yeah. Yeah, this is about to be a nasty one between Punk and Joe.
This is not going to be pretty.
Also, guess who was also on Collision?
Ooh.
Zicky Dice became the fall guy for Keith Lee.
Zicky got the basket in Keith Lee's glory. But,
well, that's outlandish if I've ever heard it.
Oh, and also Noah Tragic. The Bunny was not at Collision in the main event.
Oh, and it was a main event.
I'll leave that alone. Because he wasn't
anyways,
supposed to be in the match.
Back to Punk and Joe for the Real World Championship. If you got the Real World Championship and you got your main World Championship at the same show, I don't know how they would go with this, but I got Punk retaining because I feel like they booked a little bit. They booked in the corner, but if they're really going with this Real World Championship, I never lost the title, and then I got the Triple B. And they're going to make Undisputed whatever. I got Punk retaining. Will it be a nasty fight? Yeah, it's going to be nasty. It's going to get personal.
I mean, at this point, Collision is literally its own show with its own world championship, courtesy of CM Punk. And CM Punk says those boots remain on his feet until somebody pins him or submits him for what was in the red bag, which became the real world championship, his AEW world championship.
Here's my take.
Go for it, Eric.
I think they're going to go with CM Punk, but I think if in the middle of the match, if the crowd is 100% Punk, it was 100% against Punk, they need to call an audible and have Samoa Joe pull a Brock Lesnar ending for The Rock.
2002, we get the moment, be like, holy hell. And does that mean CM Punk retires? Remember what CM Punk says? Until somebody pins me or submits me for this, these boots belong on my feet. When CM Punk loses this real world championship, is that officially CM Punk's retirement?
No, I don't think so. I think CM Punk might do what The Rock did and be like, basically cause scathing promo against the fans.
And that's when I have a feeling that we're going to see the heel Punk of old.
Yeah, fully emerged. Heel Punk gives a pipe bomb and 2011 look like child's play.
Because I still go back and I forgot if I think it was either Rampage or Dynamite where he said, I see y'all still want that old CM Punk, the mean CM Punk. Well, that time is coming, but be careful what you wish for. Mm-hmm. And what Eric just alluded to right there, if that does happen, possibly CM.
But here's the thing. If Samoa Joe was to defeat CM Punk and win the title, what becomes of the main event?
That's the thing we talked about again. The All In, the 0 hour. We talked about this match. This match might literally be a bridge point towards the future of the AEW World Championship. But before we get there, I'm just gonna say this real quick. If we get the badass Billy Gunn, I think we finally get new trios champions. I think the Acclaim might finally do it. I think this might be their moment. I honestly do.
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one because House of Black, ever since they've been back, they've been strongest trios champions. But also Owens and Cass have promised that they want Billy to have one last run with gold. I'm in between with this.
Yeah. I don't want to see the House of Black lose these, but in a way, since they know Collision is their state, you honestly wonder, do they need these? They've already are the longest reigning champs. We talk about, the identity of a championship and how both WWE and both AEW now to a degree are making these titles have a longer reign, making them feel more important, center stage, builds the value of the title. I would say the Trios Championships have been built pretty strong underneath the House of Black. And if you're going to have a counterpoint to them, I think the Acclaim and Billy Gunn is a good way to go with it.
Okay. If Malachi Black and the House of Black lose the Trios title, I have some ideas where they could go afterwards. One, we end the feud with Andrade and Malachi and have Malachi go over. Since
Fair.
Andrade got his mask back and all is right in the world.
That's sombra, see.
Yep.
So here's my idea. The House of Black stick together, but Malachi goes one of two paths. One, he dethrones Orange Cassidy.
And he finally gets singles going.
Yeah. Or
he was involved in the very first match for the title. That's very true.
Or he does a multi-month program with the most likely to be TNT champ Darby Allin.
Now that'd be a very interesting dynamic because he's only feuded with Brody King.
Which I hope, if all out the following Sunday, Darby, which we'll talk more about, I'm just going to say a little short and brief. Darby needs to win that TNT championship to bring prestige and value back to the TNT championship.
Simple as that. I completely agree. Nothing more needs to be said. Darby's promo speaks the TNT championship and what it once was and needs to be again. Yes. Darby Allin is the guy that should be TNT champion.
Now here's my other point. If Malachi does go after the TNT title and not the international belt, then I feel like Buddy Matthews should go after the international belt.
But what does that leave for Brody King though?
And you think that stops them from doing rematches according to the law?
Fair enough. It's weird looking at the House of Black being the most defined trio in AEW. But
also, Julia Hart needs to get back in wrestling matches.
Yeah, that's fair. To be fair, that is fair. All right. Well, I guess we'll see soon enough if 80,000 people will be. Well, do they still do that? Because that was not Daddy Ass. That was Badass Billy Gunn. So I mean, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. What if the Acclaim decide to take Road Dogg's spot by saying, "Oh, you didn't know"?
No, not copyright, not copyright. Not copyright, man. Not copyright. Bold, but not copyright. All right. Well, either way, I'm just gonna say this because I am torn. But Malachi Black is also from the UK area. Remember, the house always wins.
Yeah,
something's got to give. But
AEW is known for having the hometown hero win for some reason.
Well, in this case, it's not a hero; it's a villain. But I'm sure he'll be welcome in as a dark overlord with open arms.
Look, oh God, I just had this thought. Imagine if he could just for one night call WWE and say, "Look, can we get rid of all evil and have the crowd scream my music again like I did in NXT?"
Yeah. The one that's ever truly good. Yeah, I do like it. But I also like Malachi Black's original theme, the whole screaming, "What's up?"
Oh, Open Truth.
Yeah, that is a weird name for a song. I'm just going to say that for the record. By the way, if you look up the lyrics to that, that is a very dark theme. Imagine trying to meditate with that in a dark room. I mean, if you're crazy enough, there are people crazy enough to do that. But speaking of crazy, you ready for some madness? Because we're not in the States, my fellow Americans. This is an anarchy, but if you haven't bought AEW Fight Forever, you should, because there's an online mode, Battle Royale style, and it is called Stadium Stampede. Because we have a sick. Oh, wait a minute. That's not right. That's not right. Because Ray Phoenix just got crowbarred in the head, and
Santana Ortiz took over.
Ghosts of Eddie Kingston's past are back, Eric. You are correct. This, folks, is not a Photoshop. You are looking now at a 10-man Stadium Stampede match. It's John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli, the Blackpool Combat Club, and they're not proud and powerful. They are born nasty, and they are Santana and Ortiz and Wheeler Yuta, young boy. They take on the NWA Strong Champion Eddie Kingston, Penta Ciamiero, and the best friends and our international champion, freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. We have not seen a Stadium Stampede match, of course, my friends, since Double or Nothing 2021, when people were back in Daly's place. For the last 2 years, been anarchy in the arena. But the Blackpool Combat Club has been under every violent, wild, crazy-ass match imaginable in and out of AEW. So that being said, I do think about this. Eddie Kingston right now coming up, like you said, his sanctuary experience in the G1 Climax, but also losing one of his idols in Terry Funk, and now seeing one of his friends written off with a crowbar to the head. He and John Moxley still have unfinished business, as we saw backstage from Nate Paquette, but he plans to finish it in Wembley, whatever the hell that means. Eddie Kingston's a champion. Orange Cassidy's a champion. Nobody else in this match is a quote-unquote champion that basically you would think a match being set in the short run. And Claudio Castagnoli is an unstoppable Ring of Honor world champion. If Pat was involved in this on the opposite side, I'd probably be speaking differently. But I do think here, you honestly might have the odd opposition win this. Because, like you said, Santana and Ortiz are here to work. It does mean they want to work together in the long haul. It might just be a one-call audible. And truth be told, Eddie Kingston did bash Ortiz in the back with a chair the last time we saw him. Santana's been gone forever since that Blood and Guts match, I believe. So, again, Stadium Stampede, it's not a Donnybrook. This thing's going to go up and down the entire arena and in and out of the ring. Who knows what shenanigans we're going to see? Or how much
speaking about that arena, they have already begun the construction process. And from what it looks like, I saw the blueprint. I can't wait till Sunday.
I mean, you look at some of the
you want to know what I think they should do just for the hell of it?
What?
Imagine they don't have the Stadium Stampede at Wembley, but they instead have it at that Cavern Cottage thing that people kept saying they should have went to.
That's good. That's smart. That's smart.
They start off there with a freaking standoff and then fight their way out the building all the way to the stadium. Jesus. Take a double-decker bus while fighting on that all the way to the stadium.
But
we're trying to have a Stadium Stampede, not a Peter Griffin versus the Giant Chickens fight.
Fair enough. Even I understand that reference.
Even though I think Claudio and Eddie Kingston would be like, can we actually do that? We need to destroy Ferris wheel.
You don't do anything on the Eye of London. That is a worldwide landmark attraction.
Imagine Eddie Kingston trying to pitch this. Okay, it's me and Claudio Castagnoli. We are fighting at Big Ben.
Oh God.
Oh Jesus. But I mean, we all catch that promo though, that Stadium Stampede promotion. I mean, he's just about to get him. If you about to get him, that's great. If you don't, I don't care. Just bring me Claudio. I'll just want Claudio.
Just give me Claudio. I want Claudio. There you go.
That's fine.
So at this point, what do we think needs to be set up beyond this? No matter what, do we finally?
Well, here's the problem with Blackpool Comic Club. They have a problem with this match.
What is that?
Well, besides Claudio being the Ring of Honor World Champion, Eddie Kingston's the New Japan Open Strong Championship, and Orange Cassidy's the undefeated International Champion, and Eddie Kingston's just hot off of the G1 Climax. And the Blackpool Comic Club's looking at each other and is like, Claudio can't do it. He's the world champion. John Moxley can't do it. He's the American ace. And Santana and Ortiz can't take the fall. We just got back.
So Wheeler going to be the fall guy again.
But Wheeler Yuta won But Willie, you'd have won for Blackpool Combat Club, if you remember.
But in this,
okay, well, he technically wasn't the fall guy for Blood and Guts. John Moxley was. He made the call to surrender.
But Wheeler has been known to be that fall guy in certain.
Yeah.
So that's really why I said that.
But I look at the other side, just playing devil's advocate. How many times has Trent or Chuck, for example? I mean, after losing.
At the same time, there's also Pentagon.
Yeah, well, I mean,
but does Penta take the fall though if the Blackpool Combat Club in Santana win?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If Penta was to take the fall for the team, then I would think that would be setting the stage for Pac and Death Triangle to start a full-fledged war with Blackpool Combat Club when Pac gets back.
Yeah, but I mean, where do you go from here when you're already done every war?
But how long is the Pac injury though? Like that's
we don't know yet. That ultimately depends. But here's another factor we should consider.
Brian Danielson.
One-arm Brian get involved.
One-arm Brian is accurate.
Oh, gosh. I'm nervous because I guarantee you he could if he would.
He's going to talk to
Tony, I need to get out there. I need to win one for the Bryans.
Now, impromptu, they're just up in the freaking stadium stands, a concession. They turn around, wham, cast to face.
There you go. Pretty much, yep.
Just saying. Or he kicks him because he's got two working legs.
Yep. Uh-huh.
I mean, you can't do this without Brian Danielson. Let's just be honest.
Here's the thing. I think Brian's going to be like, Shawn Michaels wrestled with a torn tricep against Chris Jericho. I can do it. I can do it.
All right. Let's not live in the past. But, yeah, you got friggin' 3 champions here. A young boy, 2 people that just came back. John Moxley, who's always insane. Penta, who's Zero Fear. And the best friends that pretty much are one of the most active tag teams in AEW history, but not the greatest when Las Vegas have yet to win gold. And after losing out in the parking lot fight, best friends seek redemption. Penta, who lost his mask, lost his brother, Eddie Kingston. He's simply back because, well, he just wants to get Claudio. But John Moxley and him, I think, still have unfinished business. And at this point, are we setting up John Moxley versus Eddie Kingston? I still think that's the setup here. And I think with everything here, you kind of have to give the oddballs the win, but if Brian Danielson gets involved, I can see Blackpool Combat Club win. This could go either way.
But it's more like Eddie Kingston with all his enemies and all his ex-friends on the other side because Santana came back, Ortiz came back, and then you have Moxley as well, and then he hates Claudio, and it's basically, I have all my ex-friends and then an enemy.
Classic Beatles song. I get by with a little help from my friends. I don't think there's any friends in this match.
Yeah.
The best friends.
Oh, I just had a thought. What if Kenta gets involved since, Eddie Kingston robbed him?
Has anybody even heard of Kenta and his status as a buddy now that you bring that up?
I know that there'll be some NWW talent involved the previous day at the Rep Pro show, including Will Ospreay, who's going against.
If I'm hearing correctly, he either is wrestling the day before or about a few hours before.
And he's wrestling against Shingo Takagi.
Yeah, because
he's crazy.
Madness.
Yeah, because he's crazy. But also, I just thought about this. If it wasn't for Santana and Ortiz, I truly thought they were going to do the 6-on-6, and I thought they were going to get the United Empire involved because Aaron Henare wants Eddie Kingston's Strong Championship. And we all know, oh, hell. And
but at the same time, Moxley kind of has a history of Jeff Cobb.
True. But also Jeff Cobb and Greto Khan, oh, hell. They were previously involved for the freaking IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championships against Trent and Rocky at Forbidden Door 1. Of course, they lost.
Yep.
For Punky Vice. So, I mean, I thought the roots was there. I thought we were going to get more United Empire taking over the show here. But no, it's just to come off Kingpin. He's not even defending the title. But, yeah, this one I could see going either way. But considering Blackpool Combat Club lost Blood and Guts, but they won the parking lot fight, and they've been getting the better of pretty much everybody here, and Eddie Kingston's back just now. They might call an audible here and give the good guys the win. They really might.
And Wheeler Yuta will take the fall.
Exactly. At the and it will be at Brian Danielson's mercy, which there will be none of. Let's just be honest. All right.
Oh, wait. I just thought something. What if Nigel McGuinness gets involved?
You're right, because he keeps teasing in. He keeps teasing in with Brian. You know, with the expectation, well, basically the confirmation of Brian in London. Yep, you wanted something. You were on something.
All it's gonna take is a good right hand, and Nickel and freaking Nigel McGinnis will make sure Brian Danielson's plans does not go as planned, and then you tease the idea of him versus Brian one time, maybe at the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view event, which we both know they only do 3 a year. There's only one left. Final battle. So unless they do something else in between, which I don't think they will. All right. Well, I guess we'll find out soon enough what this leads to. I'm very curious about this damn Stampede and almost how much football will be involved, or Guinness, or a cricket bat, or freaking a Beatles album, or a jukebox, whatever else is there. Because
I just had a thought.
Uh-oh.
What if Eddie Kingston decides to pull a Stone Cold maneuver by saying, "Wait, sir, why is Eddie Kingston on top of a double-decker bus?" And then he's just charging off of it and crashing into Claudio.
Oh God!
Stone Cold on Vince McMahon.
Oh Lord! No.
I need to see a double decker bus involved at All In. I really do. I just think that'd be awesome. Do it for the entrance. Give me some entrance involving a double decker bus.
Also, I think Eddie Kingston's going to channel a bit of Terry Funk.
Yeah, he is. He's going to.
In fact, someone suggests, I can't recall who, but someone suggested on Twitter saying that Eddie Kingston should do what Terry Funk said to a wrestler during his heel days and says, "Your mother is a..." You know what? You know Eddie Kingston probably might think about it.
Or he might just channel Terry Funk's alter ego. Chainsaw Charlie.
Yeah, except he already passed the limit with the fire, and John Moxley already stole his shtick, remember, at WrestleMania?
Oh, yeah.
You don't think John Moxley still has that chainsaw, though, do you?
Oh, no. Now that you bring that up, oh, God.
Oh, wait. What if okay, I just had a funny thought. What if John Moxley brings in Barbie, the baseball bat, Eddie Kingston brings in Charlie, the chainsaw, and they're like,
"Yep." It could happen again. Stampede. This is gonna be the fun match. You know it's gonna be the fun match. It's gonna be wild and it's gonna be fun. Let's just call it as we see it. All right, let's go ahead and talk about this match, King. You're gonna spearhead this because I know you're not so much nervous about Sting. But based on everything that's transpired, everything you followed, including their sneaker collection, and everything they said tonight in the sit-down, the team that calls themselves the best in the industry versus the team that called their name out on YouTube. It is not just about a title. It is about legacy. Because now we're going to find out truly in these last few matches who will be legendary. Because a victory in Wembley might as well make you immortal. And we're starting off with this. King, good luck. Here we go. AEW World Tag Team Championships, the rubber match between FTR and the Young Bucks. King, the floor is yours.
When I think of tag team wrestling in AEW, it has evolved within the 4 years. And of course, you got the EVPs that represent tag team wrestling that basically laid the foundation and the groundwork of tag team wrestling in AEW, saying that we want to make tag team wrestling main attraction in the part of the main event scene when it comes to tag team wrestling.
Yeah.
The Young Bucks have done that. And then fast forward to 2020. And here comes a old Chevy pickup truck pulling up the Daly's place. Here comes Dax Harwood. Here comes Cash Wheeler. FTR has now arrived onto the scene. First thing that they do, they helped the Bucks. They walked off. They didn't say a word. So the team was there. Here we go with full gear. 2020. We got the match, part 1. And FTR went out of their game plan of no
okay.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but we're gonna get another match at All In.
Do it.
God.
You called it.
What is it?
It will be Jungle Man versus Hook. One last time for the FTW Championship.
So he's not gonna retire the FTW.
Oh no, he tried to, but then Hook stopped him.
Of course, Hook stopped him. All right, we both knew that Hook was not going to. Now, wait, was that booked for the 0 hour or the main card?
Currently, no idea. It just says setting up an FTW title match for All In.
Well, I think we're about to witness somebody get their curtain call when it comes to the FTW Championship. But we'll talk more about that later. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Thank you for that update. Back to you, King, on this.
And then we enter the full gear where FTR went out of their game plan. Basically, what their model was no flips, just fists, and they went flips, and that cost them out of their style, out of their zone. And we saw what happened with that. It was a short reign for FTR as Young Bucks took the AEW World Tag Team Championships away from FTR. And then we headed to part dos. Part dos was basically for the AEW World Tag Team Championship, and FTR got the best of the Young Bucks on that one. And now here we are, the rubber match in Wembley in front of 80,846 people in Wembley Stadium in London. This is what defines legacy. This is what's really going to define who is the best tag team out of both of them. You can make a debate, you can make a hot take on basically if you think that you can put FTR above the Bucks or you can put the Bucks above FTR, to each of their own. But you can always give them their flowers and always both of their teams the respect that they deserve because they represent tag team wrestling of this modern era of this generation that we live and we watch and that we dissect when it comes to our ATW views and so forth. And then plus we have the news of Cash Wheeler and about what happened over the weekend, in which Tony is closely monitoring the situation as we speak. That's where people are basically, I don't want to say predict, but they're basically jumping to conclusion. I'm just basically saving it. I've been saving this for basically for the ATW for this moment here. If it gets bad, if it does get to where it gets bad, pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. Give it to the Bucks. As much as I want FTR to still be champs, if it gets to where, if Cash gets jail time, pull the trigger. You should have pulled the trigger. And here's what boggles my mind. Apparently, Cash had a warrant out for his arrest since the end of July. And I'm like, they're still tag team champions, but what y'all alluded to before we hit record for this ATW View, that look what the Usos compared to the Usos, and then of course they've been granted, tag teams and all this tag team championships and all that. But it's like, if he's been having a warrant out for his arrest since the end of July, shouldn't they pull the trigger on either Madam or Max or Gold? Exactly my point. And it's like, why are they still champs now if he's already got a warrant out for his arrest? But like I'm just now alluding to, Tony is clearly monitoring the situation closely. And that's why I say if he does get jail time, pull the trigger down. As much as I want to stay champs and enjoying the run that they're having, which they're going to give us a tag team classic. I mean, it's tag team cinema when it comes to FTR and the Bucks. Regardless, the story is there. I mean, this goes back when it all started on the BT, where it's at the revival. I mean, it was basically the dream match was set upon the ground floor on a YouTube channel called BT. But that one incident is going to leave a little, I don't want to say a bad footprint, but it's going to leave like a little smudge because of the incident with Cash. If it does get bad, give it to the Bucks. If it's not as bad, and FTR stays champ. But if he does get jail time, pull the trigger, Tony. Give it to the Bucks.
All right, then. I mean, again,
yeah, I'm on that same boat too. If the situation is resolved and it's nothing bad besides pulling out a gun and whatnot, and not violent hostilities, then FTR retains.
Yeah.
But if it's bad, then yeah, we give it to the Bucks. But here's my here's my opinion. Will we be expecting any surprises with that match?
See, that's my other thing too, based on the result or during it. I know everyone still has the suspension of disbelief of CMFTR, Rules Collision, the Elite Rules Dynamite. When are we going to get the epic 6-man clash?
Well, not that, but what if AEW, what if all the rumors are true and AEW is able to pull some strings with the WWE and be like, can we get Adam?
That'd be beyond insane.
That'd be beyond insane because his contract doesn't, wait a minute.
Well, remember, Thunder Rosa's contract was still a year out, and Tony Khan's like, I'll buy it.
And Ronda Rousey, plus Ronda Rousey got a buyout in C. Ronda Rousey had a buyout in WWE, a hard buyout. See,
yeah,
something.
It's not too far out of the realm of possibility, I suppose. Especially with Christian Cage also being on this show, they could have a nice little meetup backstage. But again, I do wonder after he and Sheamus had a heck of a match on SmackDown. I figure Edge might be trying to take it easy as well. I'll give credit too. That was a damn good match for TV. I actually went and Pirate watched it. So there you go. First time I watched Pirate at WWE. There you go. Anyway, if you know, you know. WatchWrestlingOnline.com. It's one of those things where, yeah, legal nature aside, based on the extent of the lawsuit, I feel like that could be the dictator of this, but I don't want it to be because at the end of the day, I want to truly see who does deserve to be called AEW or Tag Team Champions because that's at the forefront of this. And you even said yourself, Kim, when it comes to this tag team division, hi WWE, this tag team division, AEW has tag team wrestling on lockdown. Period.
Also, speaking of tag teams on lockdown, yeah, for some reason people want to. There are those who know this is a joke, and there are those who think this is serious. What if Jay joins AEW? And I'm like, no, that's not how that works.
No, WWE is going. I kill them for using this all in on their kayfabe storyline.
Here's the thing. I would actually somewhat believe it if WWE, had the cojones to go ahead and just be like, okay, we get Jey Uso to do a couple of independent shows, try to sell this idea that he quit, but we are also very prideful and very monopolistic, so that will require too much effort. Even though we did work with Impact for like one night, and that was it.
Let me talk to you. Jimmy Uso is going to come on SmackDown. He's going to ask for his little brother. Roman Reigns or Paul Heyman is going to have more salt to the wound. Salt Squad's going to be there. He's going to do nothing but stand there and look intimidating. It's going to be a breakout thing. It's all going to break down with the bloodline. And at the end of the day, they're not setting up another title match for Roman Reigns because fuck that. They're setting up Jimmy versus Jay as filler to make people still think about the bloodline, but forget about Roman Reigns.
Actually, here's the problem, though. Here's the problem. One rumor has it Rikishi might get involved, but that's a different subject.
You kind of spoiled it, but go ahead.
Yeah, Rikishi was kind of spoiled that he might get involved, but yeah. But here's the thing. Apparently there is a creative force in backstage. It's like, we can't do Jimmy versus Jay. Why? This is a WrestleMania match. That is 7 months away.
There's no way. There's no freaking way.
I'm like, we can push things back as much as we can, but we're not swerving our glory incident.
They're going to do Team Jimmy versus Team Jay at Survivor Series.
Oh, jeez. Don't give them ideas. They might actually do it.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And like they did Team DX versus RKO.
Right, yeah, they did do that. Yeah.
And they were both on the same brand, so there you go. I mean, again, brand warfare, brand split, LOL, just saying. But yeah, going back to this, though, Jey Uso going to do Jey Uso things. That's bottom line. As far as this goes, yeah, don't let legality be the decider of this match. See who truly is the best, who truly deserves to hold the AEW Tag Team Championships, and then call it when it comes to these two teams. Just call it. But again, based on the extent, do what's best for business in the smartest sense, not the personal sense.
Well, to be fair, we kind of did want the Usos to stop raining on their high horse when Jimmy kept getting in trouble.
Uh-huh.
Well, again, statute of limitations with DUI versus concealed weaponry. I know people might argue that a crime is a crime at the end of the day. So, I mean, it just comes down to what is justice. Is justice carried out, or is a miscarriage of justice carried out? You tell me. And this match might very well tell us that. All right.
Now
Let's
the
go.
dirt sheets will.
Well, that's if you feed into that shit, which I don't. Anyway, I believe in Joe Henry more than dirt sheets. Let's go ahead and move into this match here that has been stewing for 2 years, but according to Jericho, might be longer than that considering Will Ospreay isn't stuck in a wheelchair. Damn. As for the first time ever, it is the Ocho versus, after what we heard his music be, I would say the Commonwealth Kingpin, Will Ospreay, current IWGP United Kingdom Heavyweight Championship. And no, folks, that title is not being defended here at All In. Rant about all you want. It is what it is. But I do wonder, will Chris Jericho make his presence be known maybe at the Rev Pro show ahead of this? But then again, he basically chastised Will Ospreay on the mic. But we gotta consider the X factor in all of this, whether we like it or not, King. And that is one, Don Callis. Not much history to this, considering it's the first time ever matchup. And after Chris Jericho learned about the dark nature of Don Callis, wanting to manipulate him, be his puppet master, and Chris Jericho basically called him out on it before he had a chance to put the knife in his back. Instead, beautiful painting by the mail, by the way. The painting was shoved over his head. Sammy Guevara came to his aid. Sammy Guevara right now still seems to be Jericho's friend, quote unquote. At the end of the day, does friends get it done? In the end, you tell me. But also Will Ospreay right now, he is a guy on a whole nother level, coming off G1 Climax, just losing that, and might be defending the IWGP United Kingdom Heavyweight Championship very soon against one Yota Tsuji during Destruction Tour that is happening right now in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Coming up also a match against Shingo Takagi, that boy is going to be banged up like fuck. And also Chris Jericho, he's going to have the moment because it's Wembley, and his band Fozzy is performing Judas live in the damn stage.
Yes.
So right there, that tells me this might be a sub-tangent in the whole Kenny Omega, Don Callis story that's at the heart of this. Honestly, imagine this. Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega as a tag team.
Actually, I wanted to bring that up.
Then go ahead and bring up this match in your thoughts.
Okay,
first.
so remember how I've been bringing up all these ideas that basically make All In a downer event where basically all the heels win?
Yes.
What if Sammy takes the offer?
Whoa.
Damn, that'd be bold. Guevara and Will Ospreay and Don Callis and the Don Callis family.
When can those get the caster?
I mean, you did hear what Angelo Parker and Matt Menard did say, and Sammy Guevara did tease the day after Double or Nothing. I gotta make some changes.
Oh.
And right now with MJF, as Jericho would say, one of the most over baby faces, let's call it what it is, in AEW, you need to counterbalance that with a heel. And Sammy Guevara still kind of is heelish.
Yeah.
But he also has a baby on the way with Tymel. And right now, I feel like that is the sympathy card being played with him and the AEW faithful.
Yeah, but they could also spin the heel thing on the baby part with John Callis. Like if you come with me, I'll make you a star. I'll make you a multi-millionaire. I'll give you the world title. You'll get tons and tons of money for your family.
It's a bold tape, but it's not too far-fetched. So you're figuring that Sammy Guevara puts the knife in Chris Jericho's back before Will Ospreay hits the hidden blade and get the win.
Yes.
That's very bold.
Plus, imagine next Wednesday, Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega team up to take on the combined alliance as Sammy Guevara and Konosuke Takeshita before All Out.
Or Sammy Guevara and Will Ospreay. If Will Ospreay's not maybe going back to New Japan Pro Wrestling, I'm not sure when his next match is.
To be fair, do you want Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega to collide after Forbidden Door on a tag team match, or do you want to Wrestle Kingdom?
You saved that match for Wrestle Kingdom. You saved that match for Wrestle Kingdom.
Yep. You do bring up a very valid point.
Also, okay, I've heard a lot of people dismiss Chris Jericho and Will Ospreay's match because we wanted Kenny, and I'm like, you're asking New Japan to give up their biggest money-making feud for another promotion.
Right.
80,000 plus. New Japan will say it has to end in our terms. You got the second match. We got our last match.
Yeah, and plus we just have Forbidden Door too. And y'all really want to ask them to make maximum of their money for you? No, that's New Japan. That's their deal.
Damn right, and that's their title. Should Kenny Omega want to obtain that for himself, or truly give Will Ospreay the match he might have been looking for this entire year, or the moment. But then again, as Will Ospreay alluded to, King, he's beat Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega. Add Chris Jericho to that in the span of 2 months. That makes him legendary in this industry, bar none. And again, the largest arena in his home turf, the UK, Wembley Stadium. So, King, your thoughts on this?
And also to allude to what you just said, he said, I'm better than the Elite. I'm better than Danielson. I'm better than Punk. And this dream match has been basically, this was 2 years. This is 2 years in the making before the pandemic came in and basically took all that away for the time being. And now here we are 2 years later and the dream match has finally happened. I don't get why people, at first I wasn't on board with it, but then the more I, imagined it in my head, I was like, you know what? This could be an underrated banger. And from the segment that we got tonight, oh, yeah, this was going to be a banger nonetheless. Especially bringing up the personal story that Jericho and Ospreay have together, and Jericho giving Ospreay advice to tone it down. Or else you're going to be ending up in a wheelchair, just like you alluded to. And of course, Will Ospreay bringing up his kid and taking, working for his kid and putting him in school and everything like that. And that's when we got real personal, and of course, paintbrush. This one is going to get real personal. I also feel this will be an underrated banger nonetheless between Ospreay and Jericho. But as far as who comes out the victor here, yeah, Don is going to make sure that he ends Jericho's career. He's going to make sure of that. I'm going to give this one to Ospreay.
All right, then. So right now we are in favor of Ospreay. I just wonder again, how does it dictate Jericho's future and Sammy Guevara's future particularly, and how much stronger of a dark influence or void or plague does the Don Callis family become with this as well? So again, we'll have to really see what this comes down to, but I do agree. This very well could be the sleeper match of the night. Again, what Chris Jericho did with Kenny Omega to transcend this industry at Wrestle Kingdom 12, and then followed with Tetsuya Naito, then had Kazuchika Okada, then had Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now Will Ospreay.
You forgot he also fought Evil.
I'd rather forget that.
Well, this was when he was still in Los Angeles, so it's not as bad.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Absolutely. I suppose that's true. But I guess only time will tell. But as far as this goes, it's hard to bet against Will Ospreay. I just wish it was the freaking consortium Gideon Gray instead of this freaking idiot, to make it politely, but I digress. All right, guys. We've been going for a long time, so let's just go ahead and get right into it.
One last thing before we talk about the main event. We have a little bit of a commentary I need to bring up. How long was Rhea Ripley's match against Charlotte at WrestleMania?
Oh, good grief. It was quite a while, actually, I thought. Gave him a good amount of time. Keep in mind, Rhea Ripley was the Royal Rumble winner, so she deserved the main event, but wasn't the main event. And that's still also debatable to this day. I think they gave them a good 15, 18 minutes, something like that.
23 minutes and 35 seconds.
Holy hell.
Okay, so the reason why I asked this is because you want to know the length of Rhea Ripley's TV matches since winning the title?
6 minutes.
Okay, here's a list. Zelina, 7 minutes and 10 seconds. Dana Brooke, 1 minute and 42 seconds. Natalya, 1 minute and 10 seconds. Natalya again, 10 minutes and 7 seconds. Lyra, 7 minutes and 42 seconds. Indy Hartwell, 3 minutes and 1 second. And Candice LeRae at 1 minute and 14 seconds, because of course they did that because it's a fucking crime. So the total length of ring action that's not mixed tag team involvement is 32 minutes and 6 seconds. My God, that sucks.
I don't want anyone talking about AEW's women's division being pigeonholed when they at least give them 5 minutes of actual on-air time and 3 minutes of picture-in-picture.
They gave Candice LeRae 1 minute and 14 seconds.
And you give Natalia, who I respect Natalia, don't get it twisted, but
Natalia had the most match time with her.
And she's starting to get less and less appearance, less screen time. But yet you give her 10 minutes. When Candice LeRae, but basically you can give a 10-minute match too.
Yeah.
I'll say it once. I'll say it again. Appreciate and respect women's wrestling more. AEW is trying. AEW's roster has the potential, but they need the quantity. They lack depth, especially with Ring of Honor being split up.
Well, that also brings it to the point where they're trying to sign the Stardom's rising star,
Ryan May.
Well, guess what happened immediately after that report came out?
What?
Guess who came on the phone? Guess who also reportedly was interested in hiring her all of a sudden out of nowhere?
Yeah, I wonder
who.
Wait, AEW is gunning for a top female prospect? We can't have that. Hey, this is Vince McMahon. Do you want to join us and not be bribed whatsoever?
Be stuck in NXT and be underregarded on the WWE main roster? Sorry, that's out loud.
Hi, D. Priestley. How you doing?
You know what? For what it's worth, I hate saying it, but it's fact. The NXT women's division has more going on than the entire women's main roster division combined.
Which is depressing when you think about it.
Yes. Yes, it is.
To the point that now you even have the main champs being on NXT.
Because Nick Khan wants to make it a third brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll never buy into this NXT as that. Sorry. It's not my NXT. But not my NXT.
Not mine.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up and break this down. Eric, I'm definitely giving you the floor on this. I'm sure there's many ways you could try and spin a narrative on what will be the culmination of the main event, where we will see how much Adam Cole truly needs this, but how badly MJF wants this, because a win in Wembley will make him legendary. When Adam Cole has been a champion, the top champion in any company he's been in. So at the end of the day, the bromance of the summer might finally be over, but who leads Wembley with the richest prize in all elite wrestling? The AEW World Championship. MJF.
The big main event. With the man that opened All In now to being closing out All In.
Talk about a full fucking circle moment, and he lost at the first All In.
Yeah, and with the guy who everyone said was going to fail in AEW, that he should have stayed in WWE, that he should have given up his Twitch account. And I'm still bitter to the fact that WWE threw that out the window because of Twitch. Seriously, what the hell, Vince?
And they were trying to shave his head bald and make him a manager to Keith Lee.
Well, at least they still went with the manager gimmick with Keith Lee in AEW as a joke.
Yeah, they kind of did.
It was a solid joke, to be fair. Well, again,
the romance of the year.
Yeah.
Could it all come to an end? Will Adam Cole, baby, or MJF stab one in the back?
Dynamite Diamond Ring.
Dynamite Diamond Ring, or will Adam Cole do a Chris Jericho WrestleMania 19 moment?
The low blow.
Or like he alluded to in that WrestleMania, he did say, "I need to thank you more than you can ever imagine." Channeling.
Yeah, here's the thing. Have you noticed I seemingly been theming the show around all night?
What?
Think about it. What's the one recurring thing I brought up about Will Ospreay versus Chris Jericho? The 6-man trios match with the Golden Cowboys and the Bullet Club Gold, and the idea of how this whole night and how Sammy Guevara and his role in all this.
And stabbing each other in the back. Don Callis.
Think about this. The main story of the show is the poison of Don Callis all throughout AEW spreading.
He is the invisible hand for a reason.
Yes. So here's my thing. What if Adam Cole, because he still hates the Elite for what they did to him, mostly poison, and then they resurrected him from the dead through unnatural means, and realizes if he wants to hurt the Elite and he wants to win the gold, we are witnessing something that will be talked about for years to come. And we do the steel chair with Austin Rock style.
But again, you're trying to make Don Callis the most powerful guy in wrestling. Not only would he have an NWW champion and a KOD multiple time champion.
Well, to be fair, Don Callis' rise did temporarily have a fall when, you know, he once ruled Impact and AEW with the title, and then he got fired from Impact, and Kenny Omega lost the title that same year. And now he gets to resurge himself this year, taking the young prospects of tomorrow, the present of today, and he gets to grasp them into his invisible hand and poisons the all elite landscape.
I was thinking the Kingdom though, because real Roderick, real MJF, real Adam Cole, and thy kingdom come, thine king's will be carried out. Is there a different king's will to be carried out here? Again, Don Callis does need to be spreading more and more of his scene. And we talk about his family trying to eliminate the elites of all elite wrestling. Fab Coastal has that beef. That's a hell of to have an enemy along your side in that battle, as well as the AEW World Championship.
More about the elite than anyone else in that AEW roster.
I'm like, besides Eddie Kingston.
Yes.
But you still want Eddie Kingston to be AEW World Champion. I thought you wanted to get at the expense of MJF.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but let's be real. If they did that swerve, I'll be all right with it.
It's a bold take. I mean, I didn't even think about that factor coming into play when I thought about the 5 different ways this match could go. Because 1, it's not going to a 60-minute time limit. I guarantee you that. 2, there is
especially
no
if
way,
the curfew's still in effect.
Right. Yeah. 2, there is no way in hell this is going to end as qualification. There has to be a winner. 3, Adam Cole took Renee Paquette's callbacks to the bromance very personal, while MJF was very calm and composed, as if MJF knew, like, he is the guy that's going to win this. While Adam Cole, he very well might know he has to win this because he might not get another chance.
But here's the thing: imagine if All In is basically a night filled with tragedies. Imagine it: the Cowboy Elites, the Golden Cowboys lose, and Konosuke just demolishes Kota Ibushi. Samoa Joe, with the help of the people of London, destroying CM Punk and taking his world title. Sammy Guevara backstabbing Jericho, and Adam Cole relying on the invisible hand to go ahead and finish the job with MJF and taking the world title. Because you imagine how depressing the fans would be after that.
Yeah, and again, MJF has been an incredible AEW champion. He's overcome Ethan Page. He overcome Bryan Daniels in a 6-man Ironman Classic, still one of my matches of the year at this point. He overcame Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, and Jeremy Japri in a incredible fair 4-way. That was the genesis of a retrospective of AEW's growth at a semi-main event at Double or Nothing. And he also, of course, overcome Marcus Stocks last year at Winter is Coming. So he has been a fighting champion with memorable encounters, to say the least. And of course, Adam Cole went to a 30-minute draw. And here we stand now with MJF vs. Adam Cole 2 in front of the biggest crowd in the history of our sport at the biggest event in wrestling history.
It's not North Korea, though.
In the main event. So,
yeah,
again,
they've been bringing up the forced attendance event as no, we gotta shift the goalpost. We gotta involve dictators being better than AEW because that's a thing now.
They were forced to attend that show, and then if they didn't go to the show,
right? Because free will is such a political expression that we can't possibly have that. Everything must be controlled. So again,
but I'm gonna say this again to you guys, just for the video and just for the outrage that's gonna happen. MJF and Adam Cole's bromance did something better than Sammy and the Bloodline. You may destroy me in the comments. I regret nothing, and I will explain to you why I say this. It's because we actually got more development with the character in terms of we got to see them outside of the goddamn arena.
Oh, by the way, they didn't jump the shark, people.
Well, that being said, folks, take that for what you will, but he's not wrong. That being said, yeah, maybe a little bit of outside arena stuff like you did with Dominic Mysterio would actually cater more to this bloodline nonsense. Just saying.
Yeah. Also, speaking of Dominic Mysterio, guess who pitched some terrible idea at WWE?
Bruce Pritchard.
No, well, I don't know who pitched it, but guess what their idea was?
What?
Okay, what if we got Dominic Mysterio and Logan Paul as a team?
Oh, God.
And I'd be like, but Dominic doesn't crypto scam people or make fun of the dead or leave pigs to die.
And tag team wrestling still doesn't matter really in WWE, just saying.
Though imagine how insulting that would be for fans if they dethrone Kevin Owens and Sammy.
Imperium deserves to, but they need to make titles that actually matter and are decent to look at. Just saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Undisputed tag team championships at this point. Brand split, LOL. But back to this. So with the Don Callis factor, yeah, Adam Cole could win this, but I also still think about King. What does MJF always say? 2024.
The Great Bidding War.
And that beautiful chip he has on his shoulder to be part of the negotiations. He is our scumbag, but again, a scumbag is still a scumbag.
Yes.
Game, the floor is yours. Your thoughts on this match?
I'm glad you brought up a word that I haven't heard in a while in this AEW ecosystem that was once known in an NXT ecosystem of black and gold. Undisputed. I'm glad you brought that up because we were talking about the Kingdom earlier.
Damn right.
I still have that feeling that Roderick, Matt, and Mike will play a factor unto either the 0 hour or the main event, or heck, even both. See the Kingdom on both, the 0 hour and the main card. The reason why I'm glad that you brought up Undisputed. What if the Kingdom and Roderick also have something up their sleeve? I don't know. I don't know what his status is looking like. I don't know if he's medically cleared or not. A certain
Kyle O'Reilly.
Thank you very much. I was just about to get to that.
The violent artist who's still injured as well, as we talked about injuries, and that man, good grief.
But if he is medically cleared and he's been waiting to come back for quite some time, why do I have that feeling? And it's always that line that's stuck in my head about what Adam said, is that Stone Cold Steve Austin WrestleMania 17 promo package. I need to beat you more than I can imagine. And it's like, but you don't take Dawn out of the case, but it's like, you keep that same mindset up. I've been keeping you wrapped around my finger all this time because I know exactly what cards you're about to play. And I just outsmarted you. What if this whole entire time he's been having the Kingdom and Roderick in his back pocket, but waiting to unveil that deck of cards, and then he been waiting for that time of Sunday to do it? And if Kyle is medically cleared and ready, have Kyle come out of the wings and attack MJF from behind while the ref is down, or something like that, of that form of nature.
The strongest hand shows itself.
Exactly. As far as the winner goes, so
it can go either way.
It's really good. There's so many different factors to figure about here. Not just the two men themselves and the relationship they develop as a tag team, as bros, as best friends, as we've seen in these very unique, respectable promos that tell each other stories, but still shows the height of their competition in being the best in this business. And to be the best, you have to hold the AEW World Championship. It can't be shared. Only one can literally claim it. And Max even says, this means everything to me. The match might mean everything to Adam Cole, but the prize itself probably means even more to MJF, as he christened it the Triple B.
And it's like the cracks have already been showing, of course, with the match with the teases and the glares and then the hug and then the smile and the tease and the glares. And basically, we are on the precipice of basically who is going to turn on who. The teasers have been there throughout this whole romance.
Including calling back to Adam Cole betraying Roderick Strong with the
exactly.
Yep. We all saw what that led to. Good Lord Almighty.
Yeah, Adam Cole went, fought Kyle O'Reilly, then left and went to AEW a week later.
And Kyle O'Reilly tried his best in NXT and got squashed by Von Wagner, whoever the hell that is.
Oh, you want to know a twist about that?
What?
Before NXT rebooted, the plan was for Kyle O'Reilly to win the gold.
And we all know who was behind that reboot.
Yeah, and guess what I also found out?
What?
Keith Lee wasn't supposed to be the double champ.
Nah.
Guess who was supposed to be the original dethroner of Adam Cole, baby?
Oh.
I would say his name, but he's a scumbag, and quite honestly, his career was ruined in 2020. And he was recently arrested a few months ago, remember?
Patrick Clark, am I correct or am I wrong?
You're right.
17 Dreams, one of the most original ideas they ever had in their pocket, and the guy screwed it all up.
Big time.
Well, again, people, you're responsible for yourself. How you act is of your own choice, but be aware of the dismay that awaits based on some of the decisions you make. And as far as disarray, dismay, tragedy, victory, triumph, we're going to get every emotion possible, especially disbelief from this match.
Yeah, especially. Two more things before we eventually end this podcast. Two things. I think Natalia's drunk.
Why?
Because she said, hey, you know what would be great for Superstar Spectacle? We bring back the Great Khali. Go home, Natalya.
I mean, they're going to India, and I guess you could do Great Khali versus Omos.
Except no one's gonna watch it because, well, it's not televised. So who cares?
The people that attend the event in India, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but like, doesn't they want to use? We got over 1 billion people watching us. Like,
no, they probably will do that, but at this point, WWE is a status quo that people have become comfortable with.
They stopped doing that. I mean, they experimented with the Jinder Mahal experiment with the 2017 as the WWE champion.
Let's not go back there. Let's stay in 2023. That's been the greatest year of this industry, and the fact that we are on the precipice of the biggest event in wrestling history, headlined by these two men for the ATW World Championship, and we truly don't know which way this match is going to go because they captured lightning in a Burberry-aligned bottle. And again, it is undisputed how great this summer has been, courtesy of these two men.
Also, before we also go, I did want to bring this up. I'm surprised you didn't bring this up, but we never talked about Fight for the Fallen.
What about
AEW's generosity of booking 3 big shows to donate?
It's one of those things where, again, generosity doesn't need a receipt. You just do it. But yes, they do annually. You're right. And by the way, shout out to all those that were affected by the wildfires on Maui. Please take care of yourselves.
And then we got to mention what everyone's considering the worst match in human wrestling history.
All right. We'll wrap it up with this real quick. That was a car wreck of its own sort.
Here's the thing. Here's my opinion. I was like, yeah, it's a car wreck. I get it. I totally do get it. But I'm not going to hate it like everyone else did because the 6 figures of money they got from that went to the donation effort.
Yeah, this wasn't about just branding something just because. They actually used the money towards a car.
Actually, there is another twist I found out about that. Apparently, this was supposed to be set for a different day, but Tony Khan managed to convince the people who were in charge of that to like, okay, can you move this up so we can, use it to donate stuff to the Maui fires?
At the end of the day, it's business, but he also did it for a good cause. I cannot say anything negative about this, even though I still say screw Jeff Jarrett. And I said what I said about Karen Jarrett during the ATW View that will remain in the history books in the ears of King and Cindy and never recorded. So it's all good.
Yeah, because King broke the mic.
But
no audio, which means no history, King. No history preservation. Thanks a lot.
Either way, I mean, come on, guys. The zombie thing during the freaking Thunderdome with freaking Damian Priest and The Miz was more of a than that. All right. Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight at the Royal Rumble this year set me on an acid trip where friggin' Hungry Howdy.
At least the ending was a lot better than what we got.
He missed the landing.
Yeah, I know, but still, it looked more visually stunning than Zombie Apocalypse.
What about Alexa Bliss bleeding black goo at WrestleMania 37 against Ray?
That wasn't a sponsored cinematic match, though. That was just nonsense that led to nothing.
Yeah, that's true. I guess cinematic matches was more so during the pandemic era, and they were there for a reason. So, I mean...
That and because Vince McMahon has a hatred for Bray Wyatt and calls him a fat person.
Yeah, and then, of course, EC3 had the Control Your Narrative thing with Moose during Impact Wrestling.
Oh, I got an update about EC3.
Oh, here we go.
EC3 finally admitted it. Control Your Narrative damaged his career.
It's a realization. I don't believe it. It's a realization.
Yeah, so EC3 makes the slightest case why he should be the next champion instead of Tyrus, I will beat my children for the wrong pronouns.
And on that note, I'm going to leave everyone. And on that note, I'm going to leave everybody with this. I can't believe I'm saying this. They didn't give it to the Pope. They didn't give it to Chris Adonis. They didn't give it to Tom Latimer.
Actually, I did find something else about, like, I know you're mentioning all these NWA champion would-be what-ifs, but remember, apparently Billy Corgan decided to go on social media and say, also, I had plans for Nick Aldis to drop the title to LA Knight.
And, of course, they never
happened. And WWE robbed you of that. WWE robbed you of that, so you can't blame me for this.
Well, hopefully WWE don't fuck up LA Knight, because, again, if this man is in the proverbial chair 100% at some capacity eventually, I say last rites to the WWE as we know it. So, good luck, Triple H. And I can't believe I'm going to say this in closing. EC3, please win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
I can't believe you just said
also, that. Someone brought this up. The show is this weekend. The 75th anniversary.
It is, but I'm broke. And with that being said,
here's the thing. If I'm correct on my time scaling thing, the 70th anniversary has to compete
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time against Collision, which is
actually it's worse.
What?
It's a 2-night event, so they have to fight all in.
Well, not necessarily all in. They have to fight Impact Wrestling's Emergence, which I will be definitely.
No. Like it's on the 26th and the 27th, so it will be fighting Collision. Yep. Night 1 will be the featuring main event of Camille and Natalia Markova. Yep. And Night 2, which is supposedly going to compete with All In, is going to be Tyrus and EC3. Let the press rage.
The thing is, Aaron, if it's night, it's going to be during Emergence, because Emergence is Sunday night here. Okay.
Yeah, remember? but you have to. But I'm trying to factor in the fact that people have to pay for
all these
NWA and All In.
That's fair. I guess how far people are going to go. Again, how are people going to buy not only AEW All In, but the fact that next weekend we go AEW All Out?
Yeah, that was terrible. Look, Tony Khan apparently did try. I don't know if this was accurate, but he was apparently trying to see if he could get a bundle deal. But apparently, no. Instead, we're going to be charged full price for both shows for $50.
Well, they're going to have.
He still wants to do experimenting with Max, but how long are we going to have to wait much longer?
Well, I guess Warner Bros. Discovery isn't ready to pull the trigger yet for whatever reason. At the end of the day,
they're still waiting for the deal to be finalized since that contract's still negotiating.
Yeah. I think that was picked up a little bit during the media call. I'm sure people are going to try and ask more about that too. Either way, guys, we are on the precipice of the biggest show in wrestling history. AEW All In awaits, and I cannot wait to go all in on this too. But I think for right now, we have definitely gone our span better than a Monday Night Raw. So I think we'll bid everybody a fine adieu. So thank you all for tuning in for our thoughts, shenanigans, and open-ended freelance discussion on all things wrestling as we look at all happenings ahead of AEW All In and this pay-per-view to come too. Before we conclude, we will go ahead, go around, plug stuff, and then I will, of course, sign us off too. Eric, man, it's a pleasure, man. Anything you want to plug, promote, where can people find you?
Okay, I'm on multiple platforms because I'm insane and have no patience whatsoever for the life of life.
Damn, Eric.
Wow. But hold on, let me get my plug in. I have Linktree. I'm on. You can find all my socials on Linktree. Let's see. Loading.
Not deleting. Loading.
Okay.
Load.
It doesn't move faster when you say that, man.
I tried. I work in IT.
Okay,
I work in IT. I can't work magic.
Okay, I'm on Neo Reality Collective, pop culture news and reviews talk. I just got my big Star Wars video out and about on the YouTube side of things. It's also on the YouTube NRC brand thing. We got NRE the Wrestleverse. I've been doing work on that again. We got Neo Reality Entertainment, a deactive channel for the most part. It's just more like the main satellite. And we have NRE Omni Gaming. I have a whole bunch of gaming archived in my hard drive, external hard drive that it will take a while for it to publish, but I just want to collect stuff before I ever upload again on there. You can follow me on Twitter and not X because screw that. Oh, and I'm on Archive of Our Own for fan fiction stories I write, but that's a different matter.
Hey, you always cross the wrestling and the Marvelverse together, so hey, into the Wrestleverse with you. It's a good idea.
Well, to be fair, I have Bray Wyatt, a clone of Bray Wyatt, being the main antagonist for a big saga storyline, where he basically destroys the multiverse.
Well, someone has to, I guess, at some point, and I'm sure that ChatGPT will write a better story soon enough versus the writers in the multiverse too.
It's better than the creative department.
I mean, that's why people are relying on it more, and that's why the writers are on strike. So when a human mind cannot surpass technology, game over. Welcome our new computer.
Oh, speaking of AI technology, I wanted to mention this. Does anyone use Snapchat?
No.
Okay, do you know? Okay, King. You might need to run for your life on there soon.
Wow.
So, did you know Snapchat has their own AI?
Yeah.
Did you hear what it did?
It posted a story of nothing and just
of a wall, and the people, the developers contacted it, sell it. Why did you post that? I didn't post anything. It's right here. This is your link. You posted this. I am not programmed to post. So is this AI self-aware and it's lying now? We're fucked.
Yeah, it's a self-aware AI that's developing before your very eyes.
Well, everyone get ready for the Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I need to go find a way to create Connor.
It's that Skynet. It's Walmart that will soon be the entity of it.
I'm like, we didn't even have Skynet. It's a weather satellite by China.
Fair enough. Well, China already is going to rule the world before we know it. It's just a matter of how they overthrow Disney.
Disney took offense to that, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. Do they care, though? No, they still own like all the media there is practically. So there you go.
Yeah.
Again, how will the next generation beyond our time thrive, survive, or shortly die?
No, it's definitely going to be the latter at this point.
Damn, Eric. Damn.
Yeah, I have a very negative slanted view on the world, mostly because I have to keep hearing stories about little girls and doing stuff that I do not want to hear at my sister's school.
Whoa.
Before we go down a proverbial sub-tangent, let's go ahead and close things out here. Good Lord Almighty. Again, protection mentality, like I said, there's a reason why I don't read that shit. As long as I'm concerned, I wake up, I say, thank you, Lord, see my mom, go outside, see the blue sky. I work in IT, I make enough money to make a living and watch wrestling. I'm okay. Everything else, it is what it is when it comes to this lifetime. King, always a pleasure, man. Anything you want to pop up, where can we find you?
You see it right here. Twitter, I don't call it X. Same thing on Threads. I still use Threads here and there. Same thing as this one. And you have basically alluded to it, kind of exploited it. I have Snapchat. Same username. Follow me on Instagram. It's basically
oh, yeah. By the way, Elon Musk is having a new upgrade for Twitter because he's an idiot.
I agree. I wish I wasn't part of this fucking madness.
I mean, like, technically, I think Marvel could sue him.
Yeah, I don't think Marvel is bigger than X at this point.
Well, Marvel is owned by Disney, so...
Yeah, so, I mean, they get tagged.
Yeah, but anyways, as I was saying, does anyone like Instagram?
I barely am ever on there. Last time I posted
Right.
on there was because of my SummerSlam shenanigans.
Well, get you ready because Twitter's going to have a media page that are all using the Instagram grids after Elon Musk publicly accused Mark Zuckerberg of copying his stuff because he's an idiot.
Well, money makes people stupid. Who would have thought? Anyway, King, you got your stuff in, bro.
I already got my stuff in, bro.
All right. Well, again, guys, been a pleasure. Folks, please follow the Renegade, JJ Williams, the Casa D18 Studios. He just celebrated a birthday. Me and Kim did a call for NXT Heat Wave. It was okay. Not the greatest thing. So follow the Renegade, become a member today, and you can vote on the next match that me and him call. We just got done calling Chris Benoit versus Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Isn't that the match where Randy Orton found the World Heavyweight belt in the ring?
Yeah, exactly. And the most peach-looking trunks I've ever seen. So, yes, that's exactly what that is. It was okay call. Check out Dattila. She's the newest affiliate of the Multiverse of Mia, and her reviews and her Rangers content too. It is Power Rangers month, so I'm sure she's having a lot of fun with that. Check out AEW Spark, Crazy FTW Productions with James, Owen, primarily Zero, because I'm taking it easy because I'm taking the Jerry approach where I don't have to call everything. So
yeah, you're gonna be burnt out when All In happens.
Yeah, well, soon enough I will be.
Out.
Well, yeah, and then I got Emergence, and then I got this, then I got that. But before I call all
look,
in,
I'm pretty sure you'll cross. I think you'll say, this is where I draw the line if you tell me to call NWA.
To be again, I'll only call Camille versus Natalia Markova, and that's if I have the money, because again, prayers for passions, I have to make a living and take care of my mother. That being said, yeah, you're right. But also tomorrow night, I'll be with NoDQ for official panel, and then I got my own panel here on my simple YouTube channel, of course, Instant Predicting, where the Renegade, Christopher Raj, Justin, maybe Dattila, maybe Jeff Chadwick, they are already all in on this panel. Stay tuned more for that live 8 p.m. Standard Time on Friday. As I also alluded to earlier, we also do have Emergence because I support and believe in Impact Wrestling, just like I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. And also Uyemura as a tag team. Had to do it. But also stay tuned for Trinity with Theon Perazzo 2 and much more to be announced, including MK Ultra. That's Monster 7 as a Killer Code for those that don't know. Defending the Knockouts for Tag Team Championships and Fail 4-Way. Oh, by the way, folks, that's an actual women's tag team division in wrestling. Who would have fucking? But I digress. Anyway, check out Impact Wrestling Emergence, Impact Plus, Impact Wrestling's YouTube channel. As part of Jeff Meacham Network live watch events that I will be covering. I just got done covering Multiverse and Heatwave. You see what else I'm covering? Yeah, Eric, I'm not stopping anytime soon, bro. As I will be covering all these with JJ, James, across the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse.
Demand more compensation.
I make enough as it is. And then, of course, I do Simple Takes with JJ primarily. It's an extended post-show discussion regarding what we saw on the pay-per-views. And there's more super predictions to come, too, as I look at all things wrestling, including JJ's NXT, because I help the man when I can make the money. Stay tuned for the Saturday Night Shenanigans, always hosted by JJ Williams. There'll be 2 open mic nights this week. We just got done with the last one where I had to sing things from Barbie Girl to Queen. What the fuck is my life?
Hey, let's sing Let It Go.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, they're going to try and do that in November. So all you bastards better stay broke. So anyway, stay tuned for more on that this Saturday.
I'm pretty sure it'll be better than the one who could have sang it.
I don't know, man. My voice hasn't been used for singing probably since 8th grade, but that's a whole different story for another day.
Like, it could be worse. I could tell them, I could draw up the lyrics to Yay Alley by Barnes Country. We all remember that song.
That's already brought it up. I did it.
Anyway, again, the week 2 All In continues as the biggest man wrestling history is upon us, and this is the road of upcoming content on my simple YouTube channel in some capacity, exclusively a part of Multiverse Media. Hope you all enjoyed the impromptu. I will be uploading this. You all will see this some point Thursday. Of course, I'll be with NoDQ that same evening. Then I got, of course, my panel Friday. We got Simply Predicting on Saturday for Emergence. I either would do Collision and WA75 based on budget. Then we have open mic night, and then Sunday double feature with an open mic brunch in between, as I call All in London and Impact Wrestling Emergence. I don't know necessarily we'll be back together doing an impromptu ATW View for next week, Wednesday's Dynamite, so stay tuned as we'll see what Tony Khan can come up with all out in a week. You're a fucking madman, dude.
Oh, he has 2 matches already.
Yeah, I suppose, but still, I'm going to be burnt out. I might literally take a break from the X until Wednesday, freaking following this damn weeks, because God, after all that, I may not want to look at professional wrestling.
Right? I'm in the same boat.
At least for 2 to 3 days, but I digress. And again, you want to follow me, know this, because again, find me on the Twitter. I still call it Twitter. And YouTube and Foster9016 for all things wrestling. Again, shout out to the entire ATW family. Could call them all out here again, but we're here all night, and I'm not trying to do that. You'll find leaks, predictions, all sorts of live commentary updates and stuff on my simple Twitter account, and then Foster9016. The simple YouTube channel gives you assessments and updates and forums as well. So again, it's all underneath the same umbrella and Foster1916. Check out the entire place of ATW View. The podcast, me and the family have come together and started back all the way at AW Revolution 2022. Thanks to AEW bringing this family together. So if you haven't already, check out the entire playlist of the ATW View. And that's all I got to say as my voice is about to give out and I'm about to conclude. Because I'm not doing that. But as always, I like to leave you. There are no winners, there are no losers, there are no betters. Just fans with opinions for this passion we all share. At the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too, trust your families, and just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. It's as simple as that. But with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. But you watch this live or on demand, please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Hit the bell of those videos live or on demand on my YouTube channel or Eric's content as well. Hit the subscribe button. Help me keep growing this YouTube community as I approach my 5-year anniversary in content creativity this October. I assure you my passion.
Here's the thing. In 2025, it will be 10 years for me.
God bless you. I assure you our creative content and passion and possibly its madness is not letting up anytime soon, but I digress. On behalf of the entire ATW family, I appreciate all you for tuning in once again to another ATW View Impromptu as we give you our hype, our excite, our takes, and all things wrestling ahead of the biggest event in wrestling history. Damn it! But I digress. AEW all in London. We'll see you on the other side, fans. On behalf of the entire ATW family, we officially say goodbye for now. And as always, make a positive impact in life. And have a good night, gentlemen. It's been an absolute pleasure. This has been the ATW View Impromptu. Adieu.
Yay, Allie.
God damn it!